field for the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl matchup against the University of Oklahoma Sooners. 10-1 on the season. Felt they should have been in the BCS. Didn't get the call. But they're squared away to play against a tough Oklahoma team that finished on the dead run. We've got a good one coming up from San Diego, Pam.
Welcome to one of our country's most pleasant cities, a bounty of climate, sea air, good living, with the backdrop of some of the nation's muscle in the naval armada that calls San Diego home. This game has a 28-year history that is marked by high-scoring college football games with wild finishes, featuring many of the game's best players.
The Pacific Life Holiday Bowl from San Diego, California. The 28th playing of the Holiday Bowl game matching the Oregon Ducks of the Pac-10 and the Oklahoma Sooners of the Big 12. It is presented to you tonight in high definition by Phillips. And we hope your holiday season's been going along well for you. As you know, when we come to this time of the bowl season, the larder gets a little bigger. That means more money to be paid out. And the man standing next to me is Dan Fouts. Dan Fouts had his time in San Diego as a member of the San Diego Chargers. He quarterbacked them, and he had the kind of moments that put him in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So he knows how to get from here to there in this town. And I might also tell you that he is an alumnus of the University of Oregon, but he's fair.
Oh, yeah, real fair. And I really appreciate you showing highlights of me running the ball, Keith.
Well, it was too good to pass up.
Rare, too.
Let's start with strength against strength and talking about these two teams. Oklahoma has Adrian Peterson, the great running back, in good shape. Here comes Haloti Ngata, and one of the best Oregon defenses I've seen in recent years.
Well, for Oklahoma, they want to run the ball, and who better to run the ball with than Adrian Peterson? He's finally over his sore right ankle. He's as close to 100% healthy as he's been all season. And last year against Oregon, he rushed for 183 yards. Nobody in college football runs harder than Peterson. Nobody hits the hole faster, and nobody is more important to the success of the Sooners than Adrian Peterson. And for Oregon, strength means Haloti Ngata. This giant of a man anchors the Ducks' defensive line. He was named the team's MVP this season. His penetration will be key to the Ducks' success in stopping the great Adrian Peterson.
A different kind of a look from the Oregon football team, the spread offense against the speed of the Oklahoma defense.
Well, the Oregon Ducks will use that spread offense with two quarterbacks, Dennis Dixon and Brady Leaf. They'll throw the ball and hand it to a bunch of speedy wide receivers and running backs who can really fly. As for the Sooners, they will counter with the fastest set of linebackers in the nation. They're led by number 42, Rufus Alexander. He's all over the place, and he cares little for what type of offense or the type of players he's facing. As long as there's a football on the field, he's going to find it and make bad things happen when he does.
We couldn't have better weather or better temperature to play a college football game, and this is one of the good ones in this postseason play. Oldest iron-hulled merchant ship, Star of India. This vessel launched in 1863, went around the world 21 times, built in England. Well, you had to have endurance to do that, but you have to have endurance to do what Holly Rowe of ESPN, our field reporter, is doing. This will be 5 bowl games in this postseason, finishing with the Rose Bowl up in Pasadena. Holly, welcome.
Thank you very much. Well, I haven't been around the world 21 times, but here on the Oklahoma sideline, I can tell you that their young redshirt freshman quarterback, Brett Bomar, has had a steep learning curve in his first season. But the coaches say he's smart and competitive, and he's gotten better in their last stretch of games. Just 2 interceptions in his last 3 games. Add that to 5 touchdowns he's thrown in the last 3, and this is a young quarterback on the rise. He will have some changes tonight. Coordinator for offense, Chuck Long, has taken the San Diego State job. They've promoted Kevin Wiltz, and he will call the plays from here on the sideline. So it will be a bit of a different communication, but should not be a factor. Now for more on the Oregon sideline, here's Todd Harris.
Thank you, Holly. The Oregon Ducks say being snubbed by the BCS is nothing new to them. In fact, when they finished the season 10-1, beating the Oregon State Beavers in the annual Civil War, Coach Mike Bellotti prepared them for the inevitable. And what they did was they sent out a poll to their fans saying, which game would you support? There was a 3-case scenario. They could go to the Fiesta Bowl, they could go to the Sun Bowl, or they could come here to San Diego, the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl. Overwhelmingly, the fans said we would go to San Diego. Aside from that, there's 49 Californians on this Oregon Duck team, so they feel right at home here in San Diego. No snub here, Keith.
And the Oklahoma Sooners kick it away. Garrett Hartley knocks it down the field, and it is picked up by Jeremiah Johnson. And Jeremiah runs into trouble inside the 15-yard line. He never really got it going, and the Sooners came in a hurry. Here is your starting lineup along the front for the Oregon Ducks. These people started the last 9 games, and the spread formation apparently has given them better health. The receivers, dandies here. Wide out, Demetrius Williams, 55 catches. He leads the corps. And the backs, the quarterback to start, Dennis Dixon, who shared time with Brady Leaf since the season-ending injury to Kellen Clemens. Terrence Whitehead is one of the top running backs in the country and has become a very good receiver, and you'll see him a lot, I suspect, in the screen pass play tonight. So they're going to start well back at the 13-yard line, playing on real grass here in San Diego. Dixon with a little play action, flushed out of the pocket, gets away from 1, got away from 2, and got up to the 15 for 2 yards. Along the defensive front for the Oklahoma Sooners, the blacksmith is Dusty Dvorak, 298 pounds of attitude. It's not the biggest defensive group around, but they're very quick. The linebackers here again, speed is part of the threat. Rufus Alexander roams from sideline to sideline. Kenyoki Oyenegacha, who started all season, will not be here tonight. He's suspended. Eric Bassey, 27 starts, replacing him. A lot of speed in this group as well. Of course, that's Oklahoma football, isn't it? Speed, speed, speed. Here goes Oregon now on 2nd down and 8. Out of that spread formation, Dixon keeping again, and the Sooners knife in and get him. That's Rufus Alexander making that tackle.
Well, the game plan for Oregon on offense, spread your wings with this spread offense. Get the ball out to these speedy wide receivers. And then on defense, they've got to crowd that line of scrimmage at the 8-9 men at times to try to contain Adrian Peterson. Rufus Alexander with a key play that time as he ran down that option play from Dennis Dixon from behind.
It is a Big Ten crew officiating tonight's ball game. The referee is William Lemonnier. 3rd and 8 for Oregon. Dixon gets his pass away, and it is caught by Demetrius Williams, who leads the team in receiving, and Demetrius picks up a 1st down at the 25-yard line, tackled by Regis Smith. Regis Smith is one of the freshmen playing in the defensive secondary for the Sooners.
Alexander, the leading tackler for the Sooners on the year, but it's the run after the catch for Demetrius Williams that picks up the 1st down as he gets away from the great Rufus Alexander.
That Max Unger right there that you're looking, the big broad back, he's a freshman starting at left tackle. He's played very well. They send Whitehead in motion. Good receiver. Dixon back there by himself, looking to throw. Pressure coming. And he outruns the pressure. He's very quick. And he gets up across the 25 to about the 28. DJ Wolf tracked him down.
Great pressure again from the Sooners. It's there right in on Dixon very quickly. But check out this speed of number 10. Ayodele had him, so did C.J. Ayu. He turns the corner and picks up about 3 yards. But at 195 pounds, Dennis Dixon is not going to survive running the ball and getting tackled by the Sooner defense.
It is 2nd down and 7 now, and the Sooners go to 5 defensive backs as Dixon throws hard, and it's low and at the feet of the intended receiver, Cameron Colvin.
Now, what I think what happened that time for Dixon, he saw tight coverage by DJ Wolf on Colvin and decided to throw the ball on the ground and not risk an early turnover. Gary Croton, the offensive coordinator, came over from BYU, and he's not afraid to be an aggressive play caller. He told me earlier last week he wants to score a lot of points. He's going to pull out everything in his playbook tonight.
He may have to, because Oklahoma's sitting there with that big hammer. Adrian Peterson healthy, and Dixon turns and calls a timeout. So we've got no score here in the first quarter of play with 12:10 remaining. It'll be 3rd down and 7 for Oregon when we come back. Kellen Clemens there in the middle talking to Dixon. Kellen Clemens, of course, is the senior quarterback who had a broken leg and was gone at the middle of the season. One of the better quarterbacks in the country. And maybe on his way to being a coach. But he's been a considerable comfort, I'm sure, to Dennis Dixon to have him in his ear a lot. Here we go now on 3rd down and 7. You got 3 down linemen. You got 3 linebackers. You got 5 defensive backs for Oklahoma. And the Ducks really spread them out for this one. Here comes the pressure. The pass is away in a hurry, and it is incomplete. And Dixon unloaded it because he had Zach Latimer right in his face.
Yeah, Oregon emptied the backfield, took Whitehead out of the backfield, so there's nobody there to block the extra blitzer. 46 is Latimer. Rufus Alexander's coming too, so basically it's a 5-man rush, and that's what caused Dixon to throw the ball early to Tim Day.
Pat Dragic is in to punt for Oregon with Jawan Rankins waiting to receive it for Oklahoma. He's standing back inside his 35 at the 33. And looking at the flags around Qualcomm Stadium, the wind doesn't seem to be much of a factor. They set up the shield, that is, they put the big people back there, and there's contact along the line of scrimmage, and it looked like the Oklahoma man created the contact.
Might have been Lewis Baker jumping. It certainly is acting as a guilty party there, and Bobby Stoops not liking that at all, but it will not be enough for the first down for Oregon.
Contact. Number 16 on the defense. That 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
So it'll be 4th down and 2, and the coach is cranky.
Stay on sides, he yells. Come on. Sometimes it's okay to read lips. There's that shield you were talking about. Number 96 is the big part of that shield. That's Haloti Ngata at 340 pounds. Talk about a swinging gate. It's a swinging wall.
They're all big people in this group. They snap it, and on 4th down and 2, it goes to Matt Dragic, who finds plenty of running room and crosses midfield and picks up a first down for Oregon.
Perfect execution of the fake punt by Oregon as Oklahoma is looking to load up on that shield. They invited them inside, and then behind those big guys in the shield leading the blocks. Watch Alan Patrick here, number 23, come inside, and now you've got Ngata leading the blocking on the outside, along with Andrew Murphy, and Dragic picks up this first down easily. 20 yards on the play. Keith?
Goes for 20 quickly, and it's on the 47-yard line of Oklahoma. And so they take a chance. It pays off.
You wonder if they would have gone for the fake if they had not been offsides on the previous play by Baker.
It is Garen Strong throwing. Started around Dixon, going down the field, and Dixon was trying to hunt down the pass. And the quarterback with great speed turns into wide receiver, but they can't hook it up.
Why not run a trick play after a trick play? The defense is not going to expect it, but the penetration here, pretty good throw here by Garen Strong, the lefty. I'm not sure that Dixon realized where he was on the field. He might have thought he was too far to the sidelines. He might have been able to take another step and haul that one in.
Close. He got both hands on it, but couldn't reel it in. Now he goes back into the quarterback position out of the spread formation. Ball goes to him, throws it sideways. That's a forward pass. Ball goes to James Finley, and Finley will move the ball to about the 43.
This is what Croton was talking about, though, Keith, being an aggressive play caller. You got nothing to lose. You're in your bowl game. You want to go 11-1, sure, but Mike Bellotti, a former offensive coordinator of himself, there's Croton in the box. The big thing here is now they're sending a message to Oklahoma that, hey, we're willing to try anything. You better just cool your jets and play a little bit more zone in all this blitzing.
All the blitzing invites option action, too, from these Oregon Ducks, and they can run it well out of this formation. This ball ended to Terrence Whitehead. Whitehead slashes into the middle, and he's very close to the first down. He's down around the 37-yard line.
Tackle made by number 42, Rufus Alexander. And number 25, DJ Bull.
Kind of interesting, the comment that it looks like he's probably going to be a little short, but the offensive line's health has been so good this season because they, using the spread formation, avoid so many of those big pileups and people running up on the back leg, the back of the leg of linemen.
Yeah, and they're all young too, Keith. Only one junior on that starting line.
4th down and a half a yard. They're going to run for it, and they won't get it. They won't get it. It was Zach Latimer, the middle linebacker, who put the hit on the big back for Oregon, Jonathan Stewart. Stewart is a freshman at 228 pounds, and Latimer put him on his back.
But Latimer paid for it. You can see him holding his left arm and left shoulder. Stewart's a big guy. Great tackle by Zach Latimer.
And we've got a timeout.
What does the
Here in the San Diego area, the Hotel del Coronado opened in 1888. You believe it or not, this is where Walt Disney took his staff to plan Disneyland. Did a pretty good job, didn't they?
You bet. Nice place.
Yes, it is.
All right, Oklahoma's first time on offense now as Rhett Bomar steps back and throws on the first play of the ball game. Joaquin Iglesias, one of the 2 freshman wide receivers starting, and he's got a big play out of it all the way inside the 40. Left side guys and the front for Oklahoma, over 300 pounds. Messner is the junior, the others are seniors. They'll have their hands full all night against the Oregon defensive front. Malcolm Kelly is the other end. He is the other freshman. Iglesias just made that play. Rhett Bomar beat like a drum as a redshirt freshman in the first half of the season, but he's a big, tough guy, weathered the storm, and has played very well for the last 6 games. Ball thrown again to Iglesias, and Iglesias is down inside the 30-yard line and short of a first down. J.D. Nelson making the tackle. Let's spend a moment with Reese Davis.
All right, Key Sports Center 30 at 30 update. Tony Dunn of Team Rules. Police in Hollywood, Florida are investigating an alleged sexual assault.
Back here in San Diego, it's going to be a first down run by Adrian Peterson, brought down by Blair Phillips. Peterson's first carry of the ball game, but it's early, folks.
Chuck Wilson, the new offensive coordinator for the Sooners, told me they want to get Adrian rolling early and often out of that I formation. He is so quick to hit the holes that he's at full speed when he gets that line of scrimmage. It's important for him to be deep in that I formation.
It is first down for the Sooners on the Oregon 25-yard line, staying in the shotgun. Bomar back, looks, throws, pass complete. Adrian Peterson making the catch after he slipped out into the open, and he will go inside the 20 down to about the 17. The Oregon defensive front, Alote Nata, 6'5", 340, first consensus All-American at Oregon since Mel Renfro in 1962. And the linebackers, linebacker strong safety Anthony Truck leads the team in tackles with 85. The defensive backs, well, you no longer throw it at these guys. You better know what you're doing because they had 22 interceptions during this past season. Ball goes to the center, and looking for the opening is Adrian Peterson. He doesn't quite get the first down, 2 yards short. Here's Holly Rose.
Well, guys, Adrian Peterson is as healthy as he has been in weeks. The coaching staff told me that he didn't miss one single bowl practice. In fact, the 2 weeks leading up to bowl practices, he was there every single day. They said it's amazing what a fresh Adrian Peterson brings to this offense, and you're already seeing sparks of that, not just in the running game, but in the receiving game as well.
All right, thank you. It's there 3 for 3 for Bomar so far in the ball game. Now he moves the tight end, and Paul Thompson over, comes to this side. He's the former quarterback. Bomar stands, plenty of protection, end zone, ball dropped. Joe John Finley, who's in there as a tight end, 6'6", 244, a sophomore. He's defended by Aaron Gibson. The story here is Gibson is only 5'9".
And Gibson came from the other side of the field. Ball hangs up in the air too long. That's how wide open at first Joe John Finley was. You talk about perfect timing by Aaron Gibson.
That was it right there. Saved a touchdown.
Now they'll try for 3. On the field for the field goal try, Garrett Hartley, 34 yards. The holder is balls up, and the kick is good. And so the Oklahoma Sooners go to the lead by a score of 3-0 here in the first quarter. We've got 8:04 to play. And once again, welcome back to San Diego for the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl. Stadium sellout. All the tickets were gone as of last Tuesday, I think it was. Garrett Hartley will kick it off for the Oklahoma Sooners. They go on top with a 34-yard field goal. And the Oregon Ducks wearing rather subdued uniforms tonight. Plain white shirts, pretty much plain black breeches. High hanging kick. It goes to the 2-yard line to Jonathan Stewart. And Jonathan Stewart hammers his way across the 20 and out to the 21. Here's Todd Harris.
Keith, call it creativity or unlimited equipment resources, but you're right. The Ducks are going rather tame tonight. This is the 9th uniform combination they've run this year, and funny, they call this their tuxedo combination. Black pants, white shirt. Of course, we've seen the icy whites. We've seen the thunder and lightning, but I don't know any other school that has 9 different uniform combinations. And Pat Conrad, the equipment manager, told me next year they're going to run 3 different helmets and incorporate chrome into the uniform. You got to love a team that puts diamond plate patterns on the knees of their pants. Keith.
Why?
Well, because they're 10-1, I guess. You know, they wouldn't look all that good if they were 1-10.
Jacob Gutierrez, the special teamer for Oklahoma, injured on the play, and the attention being given to him right now.
And this would be a big loss for Oklahoma because Gutierrez is so valuable on all the special teams, and he's not a bad running back. Had a big day against Baylor earlier this season. But this does not look good as they have to help him off the field.
Well, they're going at such speed, and guys like this just risk their body on every time they're participating in a kick situation like that. And he came down, threw himself full bore, and went into the crowd and ran into that great big old running back, and he's hurt. Zach Latimer is back on the field at the linebacking position for Oklahoma as Oregon comes up first down on their own 22-yard line. Dixon turns and gives the ball to Terrence Whitehead, and Whitehead keeps on pounding, broke that first tackle and gets out close to the 30. Friday, Capital One Bowl week continues with 2 great games on ESPN. Steve Spurrier's South Carolina Gamecocks against the Missouri Tigers in the Independence Bowl at 7 Eastern. The College Game Day Bowl special presented by Outback Steakhouse. Then at 7:30 Eastern, you've got the Miami Hurricanes and the LSU Tigers and the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl in Atlanta. Both games available in sparkling high definition on ESPN HD. Back goes Dixon to throw. Throws the ball sharply, and it's on the hands of the receiver, Garen Strong, but he can't come up with it. Rufus Alexander was defending.
Oh, we told you he's a sideline-to-sideline player. Number 42 is Alexander, playing the pass perfectly that time. Did not go for the inside fake by Strong. That's a drop pass by Garen Strong. Kind of had his hands turned backwards on that pass from Dennis Dixon.
Third down and 1.5 yards. They go for the first down and they get it with Whitehead moving across the 35-yard line. Rufus Alexander going pro? No, this is what he said.
It's not my last game. I'll be back. I love the University of Oklahoma. Love the fans, love everybody, the coaches, and just love going to school, being around the guys.
One of the things he loves, Keith, is when all those Sooner fans yell, "Roo!"
Yeah, he'll be bigger and stronger after another season, though.
And just as fast, if not faster.
Faster, right. On 1st and 10 for the Ducks from the 35. Dixon takes off. He's got 8 yards. Zach Latimer took his legs away from him, but he's a long strider.
Yeah, the game plan for Oklahoma tonight on offense, they're going to load that schooner wagon with a lot of Adrian Peterson. Want to get him 30 touches on the ball. And then on defense, hey, Rufus, raise a ruckus, will you? He's already done that here in the first quarter.
Second down and 2 from the 43.
Call it second down 2 for the Ducks. They trail Oklahoma on a 34-yard field goal, 3-0. Dixon looking, lets it go to the sidelines. Pass caught. Brian Pasinger, sophomore out of Long Beach, California, went up and pulled it down. Dixon's got some mustard on that pass, I'll tell you.
And great touch as he had to get it over the linebacker, Clint Ingram, and drop it down to his receiver. Watch this ball go over number 44 right there, who is in great position by 1 inch. And Pasinger brings it down and gets out of bounds. What a throw by Dixon.
Tight rotation helps, doesn't it?
Oh, no question.
So the ball is at the 40-yard line of Oklahoma. First down for Oregon. Dixon gives to Whitehead. Whitehead's hit at the line of scrimmage by a half a dozen, led by Latimer and Corey Bennett.
Tackle made by number 97, Corey Bennett.
You will see a lot of Oklahoma crowding that line of scrimmage with 8 or 9 men, but one thing that they have, they can crowd it with those linebackers, and yet they have the speed to drop back into the secondary and make plays in the passing game, as we saw Ingram almost do that time. Ingram has 4 of Oklahoma's 12 pass interceptions this season.
Dixon, low snap, picks it up, throws the ball down the sidelines, got a man wide open. It's Demetrius Williams. If the ball is down where Williams can catch it in stride, he's close to the end zone, if not in.
Yeah, he really had to make a heck of an adjustment to go up and get this ball and then worry about his feet and whether he would come down in bounds. Well, he went up, he got the ball, he came down, both feet in. But you're right, Keith, if that ball's out in front, he might have scored.
It is a first down for Oregon. The ball at the 23 of Oklahoma. The Ducks making their deepest penetration in the ball game. Dixon gives the ball to Whitehead, found a hole, and one man keeps him from getting across the goal line. Calvin Thibodeau stayed at home and was there to make the tackle.
Yeah, heck of a tackle by Thibodeau, because that was a huge hole on a counter play. Oregon gave the look of power behind Tim Day on the right side, and Whitehead cut it back and picked up a big gain here. But check out, exactly right. Did you see how Thibodeau was also looking for Dixon to take the ball on the bootleg? He stayed at home, made the tackle.
It'll be second down, call it 3. Dixon's pass down the middle, pass complete to the tight end, Big Tim Day, and Day's inside the 10, first and goal, Oregon. The Ducks are marching.
Yeah, this is an impressive drive for Oregon after getting stopped on 4th and short by the Oklahoma defense and then giving up a field goal. But Dixon certainly has settled down. This offensive line giving him time to throw. Not much pressure from the Sooners on that play.
First and goal from the 8. .4:25 to go in the first quarter. From under center, ball given to Whitehead, hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. He took it right on the number from DJ Wolf.
DJ Wolf got inside the block of Pasinger on the outside. Wolf, a former running back, number 25 here, just got in there and drilled Whitehead. Pasinger's got to go over to Whitehead and said, hey man, my fault, I'll get him next time. Oregon has not done a good job scoring once in this area of the field.
Dixon shopping, takes off. Gets down to the 6, maybe the 5. And that was Rufus Alexander making another tackle for Oklahoma.
Part of the reason that they have struggled, Keith, is because of this spread offense. It's brand new to them. Earlier in the year, they had all kinds of trouble just running the ball, period. But it's an evolving type of offense.
And when you change quarterbacks, as the Ducks have had to do with Clement's injury, I thought that was a good play by Dixon, not throwing the ball, not risking an interception down here.
Collective blocking, though, is difficult to achieve when you're running a spread offense. You can't get that real power stuff. Goes the other way with it to Demetrius Williams, touchdown.
There's your running game. Great deception by Oregon. Gave the look of the option play to the wide side of the field. Came back and pitched it at the last second to Williams on the end around. Perfectly executed. And check out the blocking. Out in front, number 75, Jeff Schwartz. All 350 pounds of him. Clears the way for Williams' score.
Oh, he just rode him out of town, didn't he?
Yeah.
Martinez for the point. Good. 2 minutes and 58 seconds to go in the first quarter, and Oregon goes to the lead 7-3 on a drive that started at the 22.
Let's take a look at the touchdown run by Demetrius Williams. This is Schwartz here, number 75. Schwartz right there. Check him out. He's going to be blocking on Darian Williams as Demetrius Williams goes into the end zone. 6'7", 351. Todd, he's a big man, isn't he?
Oh, he's a big man, and he wears a big shoe. This is the Holote Nata's shoe, the biggest shoe I thought I'd seen before other than Shaquille O'Neal. It's a size 16 4E. Behind that, though, that's Jeff Schwartz's shoe, a size 19 5E. It's such a big shoe, they don't even have a plate big enough, so tonight he's wearing a shoe that they stretched for him. That is one big shoe, and that is one big blocker out in front.
That's big enough for you to get in it and stay warm if it gets cold down there.
That's Bigfoot. They found him.
Ball bouncing around, got past the first Sooner, and the second man picks it up and then falls down at the 29-yard line. So the Sooners are going to possess the football somewhere in the neighborhood of the 29. Paul Penninger will lead the Fresno State offense against the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. They meet averaging over 30 points a ball game, and it's the first time, at one time Fresno were just sailing, gave USC fits. And then they've had some trouble doing much since that time. That's the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. That's part of Capital One Bowl week at ESPN on Saturday, 1 o'clock Eastern time. Tulsa and Fresno State. Adrian Peterson is the single back for the Oklahoma Sooners, and they fake it to him. Bomar keeps it, throws to a wide open Malcolm Kelly, and Malcolm Kelly gets up around midfield before he's out of bounds. Good play by Bomar. He just took everybody's eyes away from the ball.
Well, he was faking it to Adrian Peterson, and Oregon went with him. This is a counter, a crossing route by Kelly. Check out this hit by J.D. Nelson. But Bomar's on fire. 4 out of 6 so far here in just the first quarter.
And the ball
4
is
out of 5, rather. Excuse me, Keith.
Resting right on midfield, right on the 50. First down, Sooners. 7-3, Oregon is leading. Peterson and Reynolds. J.D. is a blocking back of the first order. Ball is thrown outside to Iglesias. He's now caught 3 balls, and each time moved the ball very well. One real big play to get him down for the field goal try.
And an interested observer on the sidelines is new San Diego State head coach Chuck Long, former offensive coordinator for the Sooners. Done a great job in developing quarterbacks from Hybl to Heupel, Jason White, and you can see the effect that Rhett Bomar has had in the last couple of games. He has vastly improved because of Chuck Long now working at San Diego State. There's Kevin Wilson, the new offensive coordinator for the Sooners.
It's 2nd down and 5, and Bomar going deep down the middle. It is incomplete, intended for Malcolm Kelly. Kelly's got pretty good size. He's 6'4", 204 pounds. Defended by Aaron Gibson, so though Aaron, he's 2 for 2 tonight.
Yeah, he led the nation in interceptions this season with 7. You can see he's running the pattern for Kelly. In fact, he had a good shot at intercepting that one. This is what Sooner fans have seen too much of this year. Their quarterback getting belted and landing on his back. Matt Toena with the hit that time.
He's made out of old leather and hamstrings, though. He's a tough kid.
Yes, he is.
Out of the shotgun. Bomar again is hit as he throws, and the pass goes sailing away. It was Matt Toena, number 45, a 295-pounder coming in to get him, and he's from Pango.
Couple of big plays by Toena, hitting the quarterback in the back, causing that incompletion. Toena, part of that defensive line that's picked up 31 sacks on the season. That was a big play on third down.
Cody Freeby comes into the ball game to punt now for the Sooners, and the man going back is Justin Fennessy, who can be pretty exciting sometimes. Left footer gets it out with a lot of air under it. Ball fumbled, and Fennessy covers it, and there's a penalty flag. Alan Patrick.
Yeah, he interfered with Fennessy's chance to catch that ball. That's what drew the flag. Stoops didn't like the call, but I believe it's a good call.
Had one official right there looked like Joe Torre, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's against the Sooners for interfering with the catch. You don't have the
catch interference, number 23, 15-yard penalty, spot of the foul, first down.
You don't have that halo protection rule. They dropped that, but still you've got to give the man the opportunity to catch the ball.
And Stoops pointing at the big board here where they're showing the replay. It was a bang play.
So Oregon will take the ball after the penalty up on the 29-yard line, and Brady Leaf comes out at quarterback. He's a 6'5", 223-pound sophomore out of Great Falls, Montana, and yes, he is the younger brother of Ryan Leaf.
That's the first time a Leaf has been on this field in a long time and not gotten booed.
Yeah, you're right. Different crowd.
Thank goodness.
From the 29, the Ducks go to work. Big tall guy, sees well, not quite as quick and mobile as Dixon, but throws the ball outside. The ball is caught by the Oregon receiver Finley, and Finley will take it up to about 6 yards.
Now, senior quarterback Kellen Clement suffered a broken leg against Arizona earlier this year on this tackle. At the time, he was having a record-breaking season for the Ducks, but during his rehab, he's continued to stay involved with the team. Both Dennis Dixon and Brady Leaf has benefited from his expertise. He's a classy guy, as we've seen already tonight, helping Dixon out on the sideline, and a heck of a quarterback.
Leaf again throws that direction, Demetrius Williams, but Demetrius is going to lose on the play as once again DJ Wolf makes a good defensive play for the Sooners.
And that's a mistake by Brady Leaf, not recognizing that Wolf was playing short. As you can see him mouthing to Demetrius Williams, shouldn't have thrown it to you. Williams had no shot after catching that ball other than to hang on and get tackled.
Been better off to knock it down.
Or just let it go.
Yep. They're down in 6, less than a minute to play, first quarter. Leaf flush, takes off up the field, dives for the marker, and he's short. He's going to be close to 2 yards short of the first down. It'll bring up 4th. And I don't think they'll be trying to go on 4th and 2 in this territory.
Yeah, Leaf would like to have that one back because it's 6'5" and about 225 pounds or so. He might have been able to stay on his feet and knock a tackler back and pick up that first down, but he decided to go low before getting hit and came up a yard shy.
Dragic is in. Remember, on 4th down and 2, he took off and ran for 20 yards, but they're going to let the clock run down, and the first quarter is completed with the Oregon Ducks leading the Oklahoma Sooners by a score of 7-3 in the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl. We're in San Diego with the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl game, and it's a lovely evening. For 80 years, the Goodyear blimp has been in the sky, and when people see it, they know something's shaking. Goodyear providing the aerial views tonight, reminding you to be prepared for any weather at any time with Goodyear's new Forterra triple tread tire. All right, the Ducks will punt it away, leading 7-3. Dragus gets a low line drive. It's a tail dragger, though, and it's going to roll in Oregon's favor, and does inside the 15 and dead down around the 12-yard line. So it works just fine. Here's Holly.
Well, Chuck Long used to be the offensive coordinator for Oklahoma. Now he's the new head coach for San Diego State Aztecs. What's it like for you to sit here on the sideline but not be able to help coach your team?
It's a strange feeling, but I'm glad they're here. I'm happy to be at San Diego State. I think it's a great future, and this way I get to root for both teams.
Tell me a little bit what your schedule's been like. How much preparation have you been able to do with Oklahoma?
Well, nothing, because they hired Josh Heupel as their quarterback coach, so that knocked me out of the loop. They forgot all about me, Holly. So it's been all San Diego State, basically, and right now I'm just trying to assemble my staff.
All right, just quickly, what do you think they could do on offense to get things going here?
Well, I think they haven't had the ball much. Oklahoma hadn't had the ball much, but when they've had the ball, they've moved it well. So they'll get it again, and they'll move it well, and let's get a touchdown this time.
All right, well, good luck on your new job, Coach.
Thanks, Holly.
Yeah, old Chuck couldn't resist coming to Southern California with this population and a school, the area where they throw the ball a lot. Adrian Peterson carried down that play, and he almost disappeared.
He's got 3 rushes, Keith, for 3 yards. And he disappeared that time because Haloti Nata took him down.
Well, let's see what he can do a little bit farther outside. That's the old stretch. And it works all right. He drops that shoulder, looks like he's going to go there, goes over here, goes there, and goes on over there. And first thing you know, he's got 10, 15 yards on. Oregon Ducks 10-1 on the season. Oklahoma 7-4. They lost a game near the end of the season to Texas Tech on a disputed call. The Ducks tonight, if they win, would have 11, and that would tie the school record for the number of wins. And that's what they have in mind. And right now they're leading. Touchdown to field goal. First down for the Sooners now. They got a little more room as the ball comes outside to the 22. And they go back to Peterson. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage, but his strength will get him back to where the ball was snapped. And it'll be second down and 10.
Haloti Nata, number 96, right there, going to get double teamed. What that does, that allows Haberly to get in penetration, and also Matt Toena to get across the line, because they're being blocked by just one man. So Nata having an influence on the 2 of the last 3 plays, one on the tackle, and then that time occupying 2 blockers.
They give him credit for a yard on the last play. He didn't get that much. Bomar back, throws the ball to the sidelines. It is complete to Malcolm Kelly. And Kelly has jumped pretty quickly. And is going to be short of his first down. That's Gibson one more time. So Aaron Gibson is having a good night.
Now it's a good read by Bomar, as he's now 6 completions out of 9 throws. And he was the guy that Chuck Wilson said, you know, we got to throw the ball. We want to run the ball, but people think because I'm an offensive line coach, we're not going to throw it. Well, he's sending the opposite message to the Oregon Ducks defense right now.
Kewan Jones is in the ball game for the Sooners. And Adrian Peterson has come out. Bomar running for the first down. Big guy can haul it. He's got the first down. Drops his shoulder, goes across the 40, and is stopped at the 42. Move the chains.
And he got down, didn't he, Keith, at the end of that run? He's heard that from all his coaches, especially this year. Don't take the hits. Great job of reading. Nothing on the strong side. Came all the way back to the weak side and then got down before contact.
First down Sooners. Ball at the 42. Bomar pitches that ball wide. It goes to Adrian Peterson back on the field. He had a little helmet repair. Bomar has been lectured considerably about the way he started playing this season, and he's changed his ways, as he tells us in this soundbite.
Coach Heupel, our new quarterback coach, is one of the first things he said. He said, you just got to get down. I was like, yeah, like I hadn't heard that this year a lot. And but it's just, I don't know, it's in the mindset. I can't, it's hard to do just to get down to think. But as long as I try to, avoid the big hits, I'll just keep playing the way I play.
Listen to the coach, young man. Listen to the man who's been there. Ball is thrown deep. The receiver coming across the field. A great play by Joe John Finley. The intended receiver, I swear to you, was Malcolm Kelly. He fell down, and Joe John coming across the field made the reception.
Heck of a play on both ends of this play as Bomar took a hit from Haberly and then watched the catch by Finley. That's a tough one, Keith. I mean, Kelly saw Finley coming, didn't he? He kind of buried himself in the ground.
Well, he fell down.
I'm not so sure that's a completion, though. That point of that ball hit the ground as Bomar hits the ground. They got to review this one. They may bring this one back.
Yeah, it looked like the toe of the ball, the nose of the ball got down, didn't it?
They tried to get the line of scrimmage in a hurry, but this ball, watch the nose, as Keith said. It goes through his arms. Hits the ground,
yep.
And both hands, left hand's off the ball. Heck of a job, heck of a catch there by Finley, or a heck of a try at least. I think this one's coming back though.
Still a great play by Joe John.
Yeah.
I still think the receiver, the intended man, was Kelly. But the ball hung up there, and finally Joe John went and found it.
He's their receiving tight end, got 13 catches on the year. His Trucks had to jump over Kelly. Clearly did not have control of that ball.
Well, they very quickly went to the replay. And I expected a decision sooner, but so far we're still waiting, aren't we?
Yeah, this is a guy 6'6", 240. Showing great athleticism to avoid Kelly on the ground, keep his eyes on the ball, and try to come up with it.
Following the review, the pass has been ruled incomplete. Third down at the 45-yard line. Third down, 45-yard line.
That's the right call.
Not for him, it's not.
No, but the nose of the ball was on the ground before there was control.
Yep.
It'll get better, Bobby. Everything balances out, they say.
Well, they're going to have to convert this 3rd and 7, just 1 of 3 so far in the first half on third downs. 3rd and 7 is a tough one.
The Sooners face 3rd and 7 from the 45.
All right, Kelly goes to the top of your picture. Omar calling the play, setting him up. He's in the shotgun. Back he goes. He looks right, looks left, goes down the middle, and he is intercepted by J.D. Nelson.
You always talk about your weak safety playing center field. That's what J.D. Nelson did that time, and that is J.D.'s first interception of the year, thrown into triple coverage, and Oregon comes away with another interception. 23 now on the season. Take a look at Josh Heupel's new student, Red Bomar. This is what they're going to work on, is that throwing motion. A lot of arm in that throw, not much body. Poor decision making too, as J.D. Nelson comes up with the interception for Oregon. First turnover of the game, but Heupel will work in this offseason with Red Bomar, try to get him to throw more with his body and to read the defenses just a little bit better.
Brady Leaf comes out for his second series. He threw an interception a while ago himself. And he's back to throw here and gets it away. The ball is caught. And it is good for a first down at the 45-yard line as James Finley comes up with his second catch of the night.
Finley is the Ducks' second leading receiver behind Demetrius Williams, and he usually catches the ball over the middle. Had a big catch against Cal in overtime, a pass from Brady Leaf that won that ball game.
Finley with 24 yards on his 3 receptions. That puts the football up at the 44 is where they put it down. And they stay in that, but they put 2 wideouts at the top of the screen this time. Ball bounces back, pressure coming. Leaf gets it off and throws to the sidelines. He threw it to an embattled Dante Rosario. DJ Wolf was battling with him, and it's incomplete. Friday, Capital One Bowl week continues. 2 games on ESPN. South Carolina Gamecocks against the Missouri Tigers in the Independence Bowl. That's Steve Spurrier at Carolina, you know. Then at 7 Eastern, the Game Day Bowl Special presented by Outback Steakhouse. And then Miami LSU and the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl out of Atlanta at 7:30 Eastern Time. That's on ESPN. And back goes Leaf again, looking around. Plenty of time. Now goes down on the 40. Didn't feel the pressure from the back, and Calvin Thibodeau gets another tackle.
Now you can see the problem that Oregon has when Leaf is in the game. If can't get the ball off on timing, then against this great pass rush, 42 sacks coming into tonight's game, and a couple already here in the first half. As you see, the pocket collapses, and Thibodeau is there for the 10th time this year.
It is the speed of Dixon becomes very obvious in a circumstance like that. And it's a very simple fact that Brady Leaf is not quite as agile nor as quick. He's got a good arm. That ball is almost picked by Zach Latimer. And Zach spoils the play. The ball was thrown behind the intended receiver, Demetrius Williams, and now Oregon's going to punt. That was not a good series for Brady Leaf.
Well, first it's great speed by that Oklahoma front 4 as C.J. Ayu makes his presence felt, and then Latimer getting so deep, almost picked that ball off.
First punt by Matt tonight was 50 yards. A lot of it was bounce. As they set up the shield, when the ball is snapped, then Nata steps into the open spot right there. Picks up the guy coming in. I mean, he stops. And this time, Dragic hits a beauty. It's down at the 5-yard line. Holy cow, what a 6-iron. He nailed the punt, 57 yards, and stopped it at the 5. Give it man a hand. Another spot of pleasure here in the San Diego area, the Seaport Village. Lots of shops, lots of dining. And though this picture is at night, oh, warm sunny afternoon, it doubles the pleasure. Quite a night for old Matt Dragic so far, isn't it?
That 57-yarder was a season long.
Out of the end zone, Bomar looking, keeps it, tackle right about the line of scrimmage. Patrick Chung the stop.
Time for our Pacific Life game track. How about that night for Matt Dragic? A couple of those big long punts and this 20-yard run on a 4th and 2. And then the Ducks with a little reverse here to Demetrius Williams. Great block by Jeff Schwartz. 6-yard touchdown run, 5 yards rather. 7-3 the score. Then the interception by J.D. Nelson as the Ducks hope to keep the Sooners pinned deep in their own end of the field now.
They give him a yard on the carry, Bomar, and so it is 2nd down and 9. This is Peterson. And Adrian finds his way across the 10. Just barely if they give him the spot, and they don't, they put it right on the 10. J.D. Nelson, another tackle for Oregon. And this is one of the best Oregon defenses I've seen several years.
And they've done it up front too, Keith. We've talked about how good Nata is, but Tawena has been a force, Devin Long, but Anthony Trucks plays a linebacker strong safety position, and he's got 11 sacks. So they've been able to control the run and get pressure on the quarterbacks.
3rd and 4. Ball on the 10. Rhett Bomar looking around, throws, and the ball is caught by Kelly. Kelly's across the 15. He's got a first down. Todd Harris.
Well, Keith, Dan, you were right. Michael Gray, the defensive line coach, is extremely happy with his Ducks. He told them during that last exchange, you make sure you keep Adrian Peterson in front of you. Use your eyes, but keep him around you because he is so fast. If you let him get it outside, it's going to be one juke and he's gone. But he's very happy. He told them to keep the pressure up front, keep him in front of you. Do not let him get to the edges. And so far, they've been successful. Keith.
Well, Mike, he looks fit still. Ball pitch back to Peterson, going to the outside. The defense goes with him, and they've got him. Pretty much on the line of scrimmage, Devin Long with his first tackle of the night.
And it's just like Todd said, you keep your eyes on Adrian Peterson. He did make 2 Ducks miss, but Long was there with good pursuit. Trucks forces the play wide, can't make the tackle. Blair Phillips misses, but there's Long, Chung, Gibson, and a couple other green helmets.
He's got 8 carries, 20 yards so far tonight, but it's still early. Bomar to the 20, 21.
Doing a good job of holding Peterson down. Bomar is still a dangerous guy they got to keep their eye on, but Oregon has struggled the last 4 games of the year in stopping running backs. You can see Michael Bell of Arizona over 100 yards. Marshawn Lynch had a huge game against the Ducks. Jerome Harrison was an All-American this year, and Evanson Bernard from Oregon State had a big day, but the Oregon Ducks won all 4 of those games.
Whips it, completes it. Manuel Johnson in at a wideout. They had 3 wideouts. Johnson is also, all 3 of them freshmen. You've got Johnson, a freshman, Kelly, a freshman, Iglesias, tackled by Tennessee. Move the chains. The Sooners have a first down at the 35.
Yeah, conservative play call on defense for Nick Aliotti, playing zone there. As Johnson gets inside Tennessee, that's just his 9th catch of the season. But you can see that the future is bright for Oklahoma's passing game with Bomar throwing to all these youngsters.
Alan Patrick is in the backfield now as a protector for Bomar. And Bomar fakes it to him, throws to the outside. Good to Iglesias. That's 4 catches for Joaquin Iglesias in the ball game, and that's another first down for the Sooners. So they started back around their 4-yard line in this possession, and they battled their way out near midfield.
Now Kevin Wilson doing a great job of mixing up the plays. Their misdirection, bootleg, and throws against the grain have been very effective, as there's been a number of times in this first half where Bomar's had receivers just wide open in that Oregon secondary.
Iglesias has 51 yards on his 4 catches so far. Bomar throwing again. Deep. Incomplete. Overthrown. Aaron Gibson defending Malcolm Kelly. They got their feet somehow. They looked to me like he stepped on the back of Gibson's foot and fell down. But Aaron Gibson had nothing to do with Malcolm Kelly falling down, I don't think. They just got tangled up.
Oh, that could have been called pass interference on Kelly as he pushed Gibson, who had a clearer path to the ball. Perhaps ruled uncatchable by the officials, but Gibson not going for that fake by Malcolm Kelly.
2nd down and 10. Ball dropped. Just plain dropped by J.D. Ronalds. J.D. doesn't get to see that ball very much. He's a blocking fullback. He had trying to set up a screen for him, and he didn't handle it. Here's Todd.
Keith, this could be a big loss for the Oregon Ducks. Number 45, Matt Tuney, the junior on the defensive line, is going in complaining of an injury to his left collarbone. Kevin Stile, the trainer, was looking at it, just can't get in there big enough because they've got the jersey so tight on there. They're going to have to take him in, take everything off. So Matt Tuney into the locker for the time being.
Well, that would be a huge loss because he plays alongside Nata. And the ball down the middle, almost completed, almost intercepted. J.D. Nelson almost picked it, but again, he doesn't step into the throw. And Joe John Finley was the intended receiver.
Yeah, and he overthrowing a guy 6'6". You'll see this ball sail over the hands of number 85, working against Aaron Gibson. But it's Bomar's throwing motion, basically, just does not step into the throw, and the ball will sail almost every time when you're trying to throw a hard one.
Cody Freeby's in the punt, first time tonight, 32 yards. That's only his second punt. Justin Fennessy is waiting for it. Oh, he got this one. Runs Justin all the way back, takes a bounce, rolling around, and did he get to the chalk? Apparently not. Look at this. They marked it at the 1. Poteet was down to keep it out of the end zone. But that first bounce was key. It went straight sideways softly. Poteet knocked it back, and it's Oregon's ball at the 1. Oregon Ducks will come out with Dennis Dixon at quarterback as they possess the ball now at their own 1-yard line. The punters have been stars tonight, haven't they?
Battle of field position, and punters can be very effective, as Freeby was on that great punt.
Dennis Dixon at quarterback for Oregon.
Dixon standing in his end zone to take the snap. He's going to throw it. And complete it to Rosario. Dante Rosario, who does a lot of things for the Oregon football team. Now they get the chains up the sidelines to about the 15-yard line where they've got some daylight.
Number 44 is Rosario, working with a dual tight end formation that time. Day took the short route. Rosario with good size, 6'4", about 250. It was a big part of the offense last year, but it's changed. But he contributed on that play.
Oregon leading in the ball game 7-0, 6 minutes to go the first half. And Dixon flips it outside on an option play. And there's a pickup of about 3 yards by Garen Strong. Tune into the Rose Bowl game to find out the Pontiac game-changing performance of the year. Vote now on ESPN.com. Search Pontiac. The winning school going to receive a $100,000 contribution toward their general scholarship fund from Pontiac.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of reasons to tune into the Rose Bowl game.
Not the least of which is the game.
And those stars, Vince Young, Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart. Wow, can't wait.
This is Whitehead breaking 2 tackles and takes it across the 30-yard line for another first down. That's a heck of a tough run by Terrence Whitehead.
Now that's the thing about Terrence Whitehead. He gained 1,000 yards rushing last year. This year, just about 600, but so many times he makes the first guy miss. This time, he makes 2 miss, including Zach Latimer. You wonder about Latimer's shoulder, though, because he had Whitehead in the hole that time, but couldn't wrap him up.
So the Ducks get another first down at the 30. And they're they got 3 wideouts to this side, 1 at the top of the picture. Dixon again flips that ball to the outside, and they're going to pick up about 3 with Whitehead carrying. 2nd down and 7. Let's join Reese Davis.
All right, Keith, Sports Center 30 at 30 up.
Right, sir. Thank you. 2nd down, 7. Inside it goes to Whitehead on that little shovel pass. But the Sooners played it well, and Reggie Smith coming up in a hurry with help from Latimer again. Latimer's all over the place tonight.
You know, that looks like a very dangerous play, but in reality, it's a pass play. So if the receiver, or the running back in this case, doesn't catch the ball, it's just an incompletion. It shows you the versatility of this offense. It's a lot like what the Utah Utes ran last year with Urban Meyer.
Third down, long 3. Dennis Dixon reorganizing things before the snap. He keeps it himself, and boy, they ate him up. Right about the line of scrimmage. It's Latimer one more time with Dvorak getting a piece of the action.
That's about as well as you can play the option play with Dvorak. Great penetration there, help from Latimer. Dixon had no chance to pitch the ball, and even if he had, there was somebody for the pitch man on the outside. Brent Venables, the defensive coordinator, congratulating Latimer as he goes off.
Well, they try to use that option in order to take away the sting of the rush of the Sooner defense, and that time it just blew up in their face. So it's 4th down. Dragic has gone 50 and 56 in his last 2 punts. He didn't get all of this one. Kind of hooked it to the sidelines, and it bounced straight out of bounds, and that'll be pretty short. Friday, Capital One Bowl week. Day kicks off at noon Eastern. Minnesota Gophers against Virginia in the Gaylord Hotels Music City Bowl. Then South Carolina goes against Missouri Tigers in the Independence Bowl. And finally at 7:30 Eastern, Miami and LSU in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, all on ESPN. Kellen Clemens on the left, still using the crutches because of a really bad broken leg. I mean, there's a spiral fracture, and those things are tough to get well. Fumbles the snap as it came back hard, and finally it is picked up in the backfield by Adrian Peterson, and Peterson will lose way back to the 19-yard line. Anthony Trucks was the principal on the play for the Oregon defense.
Yeah, bad snap by Chris Bush. Bush is playing with a bad right hand, broke it earlier this year. Ball actually not that bad. Bomar should have caught it, and now this is just a jailbreak for Peterson as he loses a ton of yards.
How about 17?
Yeah, Oregon ought to be thinking about using timeouts here.
You got 1:49 to play. You got Peterson coming to, and now you got the timeout call by Oregon. They figure if they can pin him back here, force a punt, get a couple of plays out of it. 1:49 to go in the half. The ball is resting at the 19-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 27 for the Oklahoma Sooners after that snap that got loose, and Adrian Peterson picked it up, and good thing he did because the Ducks were ball hunting, and there was a whole bunch of them after it. They got Adrian all right. And here we go. They got Kewan Jones in there right now as the running back, with Bomar working out of the shotgun, and he keeps it. Faked it to Jones, kept it, got away from one tackler, took a hit from another, gets it up to the 25-yard line. J.D. Nelson hit him pretty hard because you could hear it up here.
Yeah, I'm sure that Oklahoma fans don't like this comparison, but when I watch Brett Bomar run like that, I see another number 7, Scott Frost, the great Nebraska quarterback, who had the same mentality and mindset, fearlessness, competitiveness, and toughness.
Oregon has called another timeout. That'll give us a chance to visit Reese one more time.
All right, Keith, coming up on the Nexium halftime report, Lou Holtz and Mark May alongside, as always, Tony Dungy returning to the Colts. We'll hear from the Colts.
Sir, you're going to get the day off to watch the Tide play?
Reese is a roll tighter, huh?
Yep. Red Elephant.
Yeah.
Ball's on the 25-yard line. 3rd down now and 20. Minute 40 to play in the first half. Oregon is leading Oklahoma 7-3. Out of an empty backfield, Bormar throws, pass complete to Kelly. Kelly is tracked down short of the first down, and it looked like if he could turn it inside, he'd have it. But he's down at the 40. Anthony Trucks tracked him down.
And Darius Sanders hurt Rhett Bomar. Sanders rushing, one of 3 Oregon defensive linemen coming against the quarterback, and not a good sign as Bomar limps off the field. 95 is Sanders. Just kind of twisted his knee before. Yeah. Grabs right for his left knee. Back up is Paul Thompson, who started at wide receiver tonight for the Sooners and was the starting quarterback for the Sooners at the beginning of the season.
Cody Freeby is in to do the punting.
Oklahoma.
And Oklahoma has called the timeout with 50 seconds to play in the first half. Freeby in his 2 kicks tonight has gone 32-52. And the Sooners spend a timeout here. But Bomar, in the meantime, was on the sidelines trying to walk off a twist of his left knee. He never did go down. But somehow he did twist it. And I'm not sure, did Sanders really hit him? I don't think he ever touched him, or he might have stepped on his foot, or somebody might have stepped on his foot.
Yeah, just one of those freak injuries.
Well, I remember a couple of place kickers who had ACL operations as a result of joy on the sidelines, jumping up and down.
That's really tough to tell on that one. It just looked like when he shifted his weight from his back foot, right foot, up to his left foot, he just tweaked his knee.
So let's go back to the field with Cody Freeby in punt formation for Oklahoma. It's 4th down and 5, 50 seconds to go. You don't reckon they'd snap it short, do you? I don't think so. Not with the middle of that Oregon defensive front.
Oh, and Oregon was giving a look that they were going to give pressure.
Timeout.
And DJ Wolf, one of the wide receivers in that punt formation, saw it, called timeout.
The Goodyear Blimp celebrating their 80th birthday this year. The Spirit of America floating above our stadium tonight. The aerial view and reminding all of you to get superior traction in any weather with Goodyear's new Forterra triple tread tires. If the predictions of the surf along the coast down in this region, predictions going up to 9 feet, in some places maybe 11, there'll be some wet roads. You might need some triple tread tires.
And you'll hear surfs up by a lot of dudes.
You bet. It's been pretty rowdy up and down the coast for about 10 days. We're finally going to get the punt. It's a low liner that's going to bounce and roll around, and Fennessy wants nothing to do with it. Justin kept backing up. The ball's going to go dead at about the 12-yard line, and here's Holly.
Hey guys, they just have examined the left knee of Rhett Bomar. He is up, he's walking around. It's something to the front of his kneecap. They've just put some kind of a spray on it, and unfortunately the trainers won't give us injury updates, but they are putting some kind of a warming spray on it to keep it a little bit warmer and more limber. He's up, walking around, and looks like he will be back out there.
Well, he's going to the clubhouse so in just a few seconds, so it'll give him a chance to get to it early. Never know about knees. Ask me.
Yeah, well, you've got fake ones. And I'm right behind you someday, I'm sure.
They work. This is Dennis Dixon taking a leg. Ball came out. And Finley looks like he's the man that dove on it.
Great hands by Finley. This was a poor decision by Dixon. Oklahoma's just playing the option play perfectly tonight. Caused a little bit of hesitation on that pitch. You can see the hesitation right there as Rufus Alexander comes up. And they're saying that that was a forward pass. So it's an incomplete pass.
Makes sense.
Set to 32 seconds. 32 seconds.
So as soon as the ball hit the ground, the clock should have stopped at 32 seconds. See See how close this is to being a lateral or a backwards pass. It's right down the line. Yep, that's a forward pass. Good call by the officials getting together and straightening it out.
Big tenors. They're good. Dixon throws quickly to the outside to Finley. Finley runs through a couple of tacklers and gets it up for the first down. Reggie Smith, who's played very well, the freshman from Edmond, Oklahoma, again making a stop.
It's a gain of 14 yards.
You can see just how dangerous some of these Oregon receivers are with the ball in their hand and room to run. Finley with good speed there picked up the first down.
Put it up on the 27-yard line. They'll run it again with Whitehead, get up to the 30. That's a pickup of 4, and that should do it. Clock running right along now, less than 10 seconds. They're hustle up to the line of scrimmage, thinking they might get one more play, but I don't think so. They're going to the clubhouse. At halftime, it is 7-3, Oregon leading Oklahoma. And you can see that the teams trailing at halftime have won 7 of the last 8 games. I'm not sure what that means, but we'll see what happens. Here's Holly.
Well, Coach, they were just saying 7 of the last 8 years, the team trailing at halftime's gone on to win it. But what do you have to do on offense to make that come true again?
Well, we've been close. You know, we've got to convert on some of these third downs. We've got to get the running game going a little bit more than we have, though. We've intentionally, had a lot of boot and play action trying to get them moving, and it's been good for us. We need to come up with a few more big plays off of that and get some running game going.
Adrian Peterson out the last series. Everything okay with him?
Yes.
What do you have to do to get him going?
Well, give him more carries, and and the line's got to get some bigger seams in there to help him a little bit.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, Holly. So the coach heads for the clubhouse. 7-3, Oregon leading, and let's join the folks in the studio.
All right, Keith, glad to have you along on the Nexium halftime report. Lou Holtz, Mark May alongside Mayday. Just heard Bob Stoops refer to it. Adrian Peterson, who was shaken up on that 17-yard loss, appears to be okay. They expect him to be able to go. To get him going, they need to give him the pill.
Yeah, they have to give him the ball more and more. And the problem with Adrian Peterson, he needs a lot of touches. He's got 9 carries for 3 yards, but he did lose 17 yards. That wasn't his fault. But if you're looking at Adrian Peterson, he's a player that needs to carry the rock a lot so he can wear defenses down. He just hadn't had the opportunity in the first half. And right here, he's running hard with the football. Look at him. He gets the first down there for the Oklahoma offense. But the key is the quarterback, Rhett Bomar. He can run with the ball, but he's also 10 for 18 in the first half. And right here, he gets nicked up, twists his knee a little bit. The question is, can he come back in the second half? If he can't come back in the second half, it'll be Paul Thompson. Now, remember, he started the season off as the quarterback, was replaced by Rhett Bomar in the first game, and Rhett Bomar's been the starter since the first game. So it's going to be interesting to see because Paul Thompson started at wide receiver.
Yeah, those two guys stepping in for Kellen Clemens, who's been injured a little bit, have performed quite well for Oregon, particularly Dennis Dixon, Lou.
I think they've really done a nice job preparing Dennis Dixon for this football game, and they're doing a great job of calling because they aren't putting him in a position he can't handle. You see right here, he runs the ball very, very well. They play it very, very conservatively. He sprints out. He makes a nice throw. Excellent touch in there. And the greatest thing was when they were backed up, they had the ball on their own 1-yard line. What do? They drop back and let him throw the outcut right here. Then they come back and let him run the option when they're backed up. He's done a nice job. He's not getting them beat. That's the thing that he needs to do. And if he will continue to do that and Oregon continues to play the great defense, I think the game plan will work excellently.
Yeah, we're used to seeing shootouts in the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl. Right now, a bit of a defensive struggle. Oregon with that 7-3 lead over Oklahoma.
We welcome you back to the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl. Game being played in San Diego between Oregon and Oklahoma. And this was the closing of the halftime show. It was a good one, but I'll tell you what. We mentioned shootout at the start of the telecast. That's it.
A lot of fireworks, not offensive fireworks in this ballgame in that first half. In fact, 7-3 is the fewest points each team has scored all season long in the first half.
I think that's got something to do with that enormous amount of time that they were off, don't you?
Well, normally offenses benefit from the time off because defenses don't get to practice tackling. but the tackling in that first half by both teams is just outstanding.
Yeah, it was good. The offense was the one that was missing the clicks.
And the big question, though, will be for Oklahoma, what about Rhett Bomar? Will he be able to go in this second half?
And what about Oregon? Todd Harris caught up with Mike Bellotti. The coach said this.
Coach, 7-3 at halftime, not a typical Oregon high-powered offense. What do you do to get your offense on track?
Well, they're doing a nice job on defense. I think we can be more aggressive. We just have to continue to make sure we keep possession of the football. I'm pleased with the way our defense is playing. We're stopping the run. We just have to be careful to play action pass. And, we have to just continue to be aggressive offensively.
You've got 2 looks at your quarterbacks. Which one has impressed you thus far with a hotter hand?
Well, we're going to stay with the rotation system right now. I think Dennis has been the more effective quarterback so far, but I think this is Brady's turn coming out. We'll give him a series this half, and then we'll decide.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
As we went to the halftime break, the Oklahoma quarterback, Rhett Bomar, was dragging his left leg, hurt his knee. Here's Holly Rowe with the report.
Well, I talked with Oklahoma coach Bob Stutz at the half and said, what's the injury update on Rhett? He said, what injury? He's fine. Checking Rhett as he came out. They have not wrapped the left knee. He looked fine in warm-ups right now, and he's not limping, guys. We'll see if he can continue to go.
All right, thank you, Holly. Here we go now with the second half of play. Oregon will kick off. Oklahoma's Reggie Smith and Alan Patrick are waiting to receive it. There's Rhett Bomar on the sidelines. And here we go. Matt Evanson will kick it away for Oregon. And again, I'm struck by the fact that the wardrobe for the Ducks in this ball game has been rather basic. The kick goes into the corner to Alan Patrick. Found a crack and almost went home. I mean, he was a step away from see you later. Rosario brought him down. And here are the numbers.
Our Pacific Life game track. Rough first half for Adrian Peterson. 8 carries for 8 yards. That big loss on a bad handoff. But Oregon defensively with Nata leading the way. And then the injury to Rhett Bomar. Bomar in that first half was 10 out of 18. And Bob Stoops, that certainly looks like a sore left knee to me.
Well, Bomar's out there on the field, under center, and a whistle.
Prior to the snap, ball start, 70 offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
But you know one thing about Adrian Peterson, that Stoops is going to give him the ball a number of times here in the second half, and he is especially dangerous in the second half. Look what he did in his last game against Oklahoma State. A school record in the second half against the Cowboys.
Yeah, I thought he'd have more touches in the first half than he did. Well, he's got it right here, and he runs right into the middle of that big Oregon defense, and that's a hard place to pick up much yardage. After that false start, the ball now is at the 31-yard line.
Now, statistically, we take a look at what has gone on in the first half. Oregon with the edge in total offense. Again, no rushing yards at all for Oklahoma. That's just not Sooner football. Time of possession favors the Ducks, as does the 7-3 scoreboard.
And he gives it to Peterson, and Peterson's hit behind the line of scrimmage, and Mr. Peterson meet Mr. Nata. That is a tree that moves.
Well, and he fights through a double team here to make this tackle. Check him out right here in the circle. Big number 96. He's a junior, but he's expected by a lot of people to be playing his last game for the Oregon Ducks. And they will miss his presence in the middle of that defense. He's not made a decision yet, but that's the way most people feel.
3rd down and 12 for Oklahoma. And they've gone to the shotgun. Rhett Bomar getting a little heat, dumps it off to Kawan Jones, and Jones getting some help up the sidelines, but not enough. He gets to the 40, had to go to the 44. It'll be 4th down and 4. Anthony Trucks leading the tacklers for Oregon.
Well-designed screen pass. Oregon's going to run a stunt here between Nata and Devin Long, and Bomar just patiently lets Nata come in and Long and throws the ball to Jones for the gain, short though of the first down.
And Cody Freeby's in the ball game. He has 2 good punts of 52 and 48. The first one was only 32. Justin Fennessy is waiting for it. The left footer didn't get all of it. Fennessy comes up, makes the catch, and is immediately hit just outside the 25-yard line. Friday, the Capital One Bowl week continues with 2 good ones. You've got South Carolina. Steve Spurrier did a heck of a job this year, and one of the best coaching jobs he's done in recent years. And they will face the Missouri Tigers in the Independence Bowl. Then you've got the Game Day Bowl special presented by Outback Steakhouse at 7:30. You've got a good one. The LSU Tigers and the Miami Hurricanes get after each other in the Chick-fil-A Bowl down in Atlanta. Brady Leaf is in. Mike Bellotti said it was his turn to have a series. He takes a low snap, hands it away to Whitehead, and Whitehead will pick up 3 yards.
We have seen a number of low snaps in the shotgun formation tonight by both centers. Anoka Lucas, that's about the 4th time that his snap has come up low. You can see Leaf talking to him there.
Second down and 6.
Get the ball up a little bit higher, please.
I was going to say now, there's a big buck. Ball is thrown over the middle and it's incomplete.
You were going to say, and you did.
Yeah, you're always talking in the game of football in the vernacular. You find the big butt to follow, you know, the running backs. I mean, that offensive line for Oregon's got some big ones. But they all would probably be back next year.
Well, you've got Lucas as a center. He's a junior. Masoon is a junior. Schwartz a sophomore. Shergy's a redshirt freshman, as is Max Unger. So this whole line comes back for the Ducks.
And it's 3rd down and 6 now. Oklahoma looking to go after them, and they do, but there are penalty flags all over the field. And it may have the posturing of the Sooners, I think, caused one of the Ducks to move.
55, false start.
Yep.
5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
See, you're ragging on the center, and he's trying to, all of a sudden he's sitting there looking at somebody like Dvorak, and he moves, and there you go, you lose 5.
Yep.
That is the first penalty in the ball game for Oregon.
Yeah, not a good time for it to come on 3rd down, but Lucas did flinch there, and it was because Dvorak was right on his nose.
Leaf, better hurry. C.J. Ayu gets the sack. Oklahoma comes out playing fast. They didn't do much with it offensively, but the defense certainly stood up.
Yeah, this is 3 sacks now in the game for one of the best teams in the nation, sacking the quarterback. C.J. Ayu, who played for Gary Croton, the Oregon offensive coordinator, when they were both at BYU, celebrating that sack.
And the Oregon Ducks are going to have to punt it. The punter standing back at about the 2. He'll hit it up around the 6. Just got it out, but he got it out. And it bounces, takes a good gravy bounce right to the Oklahoma returner, Rankins. And Rankins will come back up around midfield before he's knocked out of bounds. So Oregon gets very deep in trouble, and Oklahoma gets very good field position after the Oklahoma Sooners have their best starting point of possession in the game. They're on their 47-yard line with a ball, and the Oregon Ducks will welcome back Toena, big guy who plays alongside Nata in the middle of that Oregon defensive front. Toena left to Matt Toena. They couldn't get to the shoulder to see if what they could see or feel without taking off the shirt, because those offensive linemen wear those tight shirts to keep the defensive guys from holding them. And they had to take him into the clubhouse, but he's out there.
And this man will get a lot of carries, you can bet, in the second half. Just 10 carries so far. Boy, look at those numbers. There's a 0 missing there somewhere, isn't there?
Here he goes. And the tackle is made by Patrick Chung. The pickup on the play, 3 yards.
Yeah, against the Cowboys of Oklahoma State, Peterson reminded everyone how good he is when he's healthy. This run here was a career-long 84-yarder in the third quarter. And he came back in the fourth quarter, backed that up with a 71-yard sprint, 237 yards rushing in his last game, and a huge second half. Stay tuned.
Penalty flag is in the wake of this run. Ball comes out, fight for it. Picked up by the Sooners, goes into the end zone, but there's a penalty flag back up here at the 50-yard line. Chris Messner was the man that picked up the ball and ran into the end zone with it. But there's a flag awaiting up yonder.
It is recovered by number 79.
And poor Chris Messner's dream of scoring a touchdown has just ended. Flag was thrown as the Sooners ran away from Nata and Long. And one of them was caught.
10 yards, spot foul, still second down.
And Adrian Peterson may have injured his hand on that punch out by Justin Finnessy. There's Finnessy, 31, trying to get Peterson out of bounds. Look at the strength of Peterson. But Finnessy doesn't quit. He chops the ball out of his hand. That might have hurt the left hand of Adrian Peterson.
So they lose the touchdown. They lose the big run by Peterson. And we'll see about whether they lost Peterson or not.
Down at 17 from the 40.
And the ball comes all the way back to the 40-yard line where it's second down and 17. So the Sooners are struggling right now. That's their fourth penalty of the night. And this is Kewan Jones carrying. I'll tell you, he's not a gimme either. He's 5'9", 190 pounds, but he's a senior, and he's played a lot.
Yeah,
and
very valuable. Very valuable to have him as a backup, especially with the fact that Jacob Gutierrez was hurt in that first half.
Here's Holly. News about Peterson.
Well, guys, after that play, he came to the sideline, was doubled over in pain, holding that left arm. Now he's standing on the sideline telling his coach that he can go back in. But now he's just taking off his helmet, guys. We're not sure if he's going to be able to go or not. He's very much in pain right now.
It is third down and 8 for the Sooners after possessing the ball at their 47 and losing a touchdown. Bomar throws, just flipped the ball over to Iglesias. He picks it up, and he's really trucking it down the sidelines, breaking 2 tackles to get down near the 15-yard line.
Well, Chris Messner didn't get a touchdown on that long play, that fumble after Peterson, but watch him block Devin Long here on this play. He rides Long behind the quarterback. Fantastic throw on the run by Bomar, and then the freshman Iglesias with his 5th catch of the night. The 3 freshman receivers have 10 catches among them. That one went for 34 for number 9.
The ball is at the 16. Out of the shotgun, Bomar looking to the corner. Touchdown. J.D. Reynolds.
Great pass protection for Bomar. In fact, his offensive line's done a great job tonight, not giving up any sacks. And only 3 in the last 4.5 games. As Bomar's able to step up in the pocket, find Reynolds on the wheel route against the linebacker. Messner with another good job on Long, and a perfect strike as Reynolds catches his 5th career touchdown pass.
The extra point try by Hartley. Good. And the Oklahoma Sooners have their first lead since they led 3-0. They now go on top in the third quarter with 9:20 to play by a score of 10-7. Many happy days have been had there. Home to obviously the world famous San Diego Zoo, one of the greatest in the world, and some of the city's finest museums are now located in Balboa Park. As J.D. Ronalds, he is so happy. He's headed for a career in broadcasting, he hopes. Already got plans to go to work in the radio, which I highly applaud. It's a good place to start. From the 18-yard line, it's Jonathan Stewart, the big freshman running back. And now here's Holly with news about Adrian Peterson.
Well, guys, this is a very bizarre injury that just occurred. Adrian Peterson was on the sideline when that touchdown occurred. He jumped up in celebration, and his head hit into the back of his teammate Manuel Johnson's helmet. He's cut open his forehead. Right now, they've got him laying down on the bench, and it looks like they may even be trying to give him some stitches right now, guys. But blood pouring from his forehead after an unfortunate injury during the celebration on the touchdown.
Thank you. Dennis Dixon is the quarterback. Whitehead's back there with him. Dixon looking to throw. Gets it away. Ball completed to Whitehead. Whitehead just ran up a hole in the middle. Got free in the secondary. Made the catch. Moved the chains. 11 yards.
Whitehead does a lot of that, catching the ball out of the backfield. Second leading receiver for the Ducks tonight. And third on the season.
That's a gain of 10 yards and a first down.
Just barely picked up the first down.
10-7. The Sooners have regained the lead after taking 3-0 lead in the first quarter. Had a little trouble picking up the ball.
Dennis Dixon falls on the snap.
Here's Todd.
All right, Keith, I'm with Coach Kellen Clemens, the pride of Burns, Oregon. Kellen, unfortunate year for you. You go out in the Arizona game, but now you take the role as a quarterback coach or assistant. We've seen both quarterbacks tonight. Give us your assessment.
You know, we're not doing too bad. We've got a lot of mistakes right now with some snaps, some low snaps, and missed some guys. But, you know, all in all, down 3 now. I got to like our chances coming back, though.
On those low slaps, do you go to your center and say, hey, you got to get him up, or is this just a problem he's having mechanically?
Yeah, well, and it's too bad because we just had another one, but we had a discussion after that last series saying, hey, we got to get the snap count right. It's got to be corrected or we're in trouble.
Thanks, Kellen.
Yeah.
Illegal shift was the penalty flag on the last play, and the big problem here is getting buried by the Oklahoma defense. Here's Terrence Whitehead being taken down behind the line of scrimmage. And here again is Reese Davis. Ball is right on the 30-yard line now. 3rd down and 19. Dixon gets it away, and it's not complete. Garen Strong had it, and he lost it as he went down.
Well, the problem for Oregon is that they're getting beat up front by this pass pressure of Oklahoma. This is how Oklahoma started the game, knocking Dixon down, not giving him time to find his outlet receivers. And Thibodeau and Dvorak's got to get a lot of credit for causing a lot of those bad snaps from Anoka Lucas, because he's right on Lucas's nose.
Deep to receive for the Sooners.
Well, the Oregon O-line needs to hunker down. It's up to them to stop it.
Yep.
Sooners look like they want to come, but they don't. Kicks away. It's a low kick by Dragic. Bounding around and bounding down the field, and it turns out to be a pretty good kick. Goes out of bounds at about the 26-yard line with 7:34 to play in the 3rd quarter, and Oklahoma leading 10-7.
It's on the 44 yards.
Oklahoma has the lead over Oregon 10-7, 3rd quarter, 7:34 to go in the 3rd period. We're at Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego, California for the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl. Oklahoma Sooners finish strong. Right now they're trying to take it to the Oregon Ducks. Oregon's offense has done nothing here in the 2nd half. The Oklahoma defense has been tormenting them. Bomar, the quarterback, hands the ball away to Kewan Jones, and there was a sound you could hear all the way to La Jolla as Blair Phillips came over and leveled him. And Adrian Peterson is up and about with a bandage on his head.
You know, the question is, this is during the break where we're seeing him there. He's right now in the huddle replacing Kewan Jones, But you got to wonder about a running back with a cut to his forehead. So many times he's got to lower his head to get extra yards.
Be sore tomorrow. He's stopped at the line of scrimmage, now retreating deep, looking for some help. Here come the tacklers. He finds the crease, almost broke it, and left town with it. Patrick Chung finally tracked him down and made the tackle.
Tackle made by Patrick Chung.
Now Peterson is making it exciting for Sooner fans. Total ad lib here on the draw play, goes into the hole and then goes backwards. 10, about 15 yards he retreats, and as you said, Keith, right here, if Chung doesn't make this tackle, he might have gone all the way.
And he comes out. Jones is back in. It is 3rd down and 8. Bomar with a lot of time. Now gets some heat, takes a wallop, and he's down on the field. He took a wallop from Toena, but he gets up, and the pass thrown up the field with good accuracy to Manuel Johnson, and it's good for a 1st down.
Let's take a look at that big hit by Matt Toena. Number 45 is going to come right here, and he's just going to flatten Bomar. Look at that catch on the outside. It's Manuel Johnson with another big catch.
That's a freshman from Gilmer, Texas. And Peterson comes back onto the field and goes in as the deep back. And Toena is out of the lineup for the moment. He ran into one of his own men, but keeps his feet and gets to the outside, and now you may get a face mask here. Look, I guess not. Justin Fennessy, but the hook grabbed him around the head, got the shoulder pad, I guess, and took him down. But that'll be a 1st down.
You can see just how determined Adrian Peterson is to try to break a long one here. Great balance there. Fennessy will come over and got him around the shoulder pad underneath the face mask, Keith.
Yep.
Watch his left hand go right under the face mask, legal tackle, and bring Peterson down. Boy, you talk about strength. That's one strong defensive back.
Ball is at the 43 now on the Oregon side of the field. And a penalty flag is thrown on the far side. The pass is thrown out of bounds, it appeared. Penalties against Oklahoma. All right, here's a look at your Bowl Challenge Cup standings brought to you by Cooper Tires. The Pac-10 not completing their action as yet. As you see, the ACC with 8 teams. The Big 12 has 8 teams. So their record is 2-1, and the substance of this whole thing is at the end of it, whatever conference has the greatest number of wins will be called the champions of the Bowl Challenge Cup. Winning percentage, I'm told. Winning percentage.
Second down and 10 from the 43.
Well, there's always the BCS. They can figure that out.
You bet.
2nd down and 10. Ball is handed into the belly of Peterson, and he's on a tear right now. He's ripping apart.
Well, I guess he answered the question about his forehead. His willingness to take on tacklers with his forehead cut wide open just moments ago. Check out this play by number 28. Watch the head go down on Chung right there. J.D. Nelson, big 1st down for the Sooners. And the blood seeps through the bandage now.
Well, the adrenaline is really, really flowing. And looks like he's hurting all over. Well, after what he's been doing, you can understand why. It's a 1st down. The ball is at the 23-yard line, and Alan Patrick is the running back. And it's the running game now that's paying off for Oklahoma.
And what so often happens in any game where momentum starts to shift, it's the big guys up front that make it shift. We've seen the Sooners defense take control of the line of scrimmage. Right now, it's the Sooner offensive line controlling and pushing the Oregon Ducks backwards on every snap.
The ball is laying on the 19-yard line, where it is 2nd down and 6. And Kewan Jones is back in at the running back spot. Peterson is still on the sidelines, and Jones gets it, cuts it, gets a daylight, goes inside the 10. First down and goal for Oklahoma at the 8-yard line of Oregon.
Yeah, this is Sooner football. What they did in the first half was not. They majored in the pass in the first half, had very little yardage on the ground, but right now it's strictly on the ground. Kewan Jones and Adrian Peterson behind that big offensive line.
Davin Joseph was the man that had that big block to get him down there. It's Jones. It's touchdown. Chris Chester let him in.
It's almost as if the Oklahoma offensive line was mad that Chris Messner's touchdown was taken away from one of their brothers. Because they have just dominated that offensive line. Chester with a huge block there as Kewan Jones went in virtually untouched.
Hartley for the point. The hold by McEachern. Good.
Led by Adrian Peterson's determination and willingness to lower his head to take on tacklers, the Sooner wagon is rolling right now. Kewan Jones from 8 yards out, and the Sooners extend their lead to 10.
Pacific Life Holiday Bowl, and Oklahoma has bounced out to a 10-point lead, but again Bomar had the doctors looking at his right hand this time. There's something going on almost every play. One of the Sooners is being treated. My goodness, that thing is kicked out of town all the way to the back of the end zone by Jeremiah Johnson holding on to it. It'll come out to the 20-yard line. For 80 years, we've had that Goodyear blimp up for the images of the world floating overhead for the aerial views, reminding you to be prepared for any weather on Goodyear's new Forterra tires featuring the triple tread technology.
You can see just how fired up Oklahoma has been in this quarter and how futile Oregon's offense has been. Dennis Dixon will get his shot now for Mike Bellotti's offense.
I think he'll go all the way now. They've got to get somebody to get something going. Leaf hasn't been able to. Dixon back, chased out of there. He's got the speed and quickness to make something out of nothing. He got back to the line of scrimmage before Carl Pendleton chased him out of bounds. And here's a report from Holly Rowe.
Well, injuries keep piling up here on the OU sideline. Rhett Bomar just saw the trainers for his throwing hand. The middle finger and the index finger are very swollen, and he is saying that they are in great pain. Now, he did take a ball. He told the trainer that he can throw it without too much pain, so he is going to continue in this football game. But guys, things just keep getting worse here on the OU sideline. Bomar now fighting through a hand injury on his throwing hand.
Well, they've got 10 points. That might, the way their defense is playing, it might be enough.
And Stoops keeps telling them they're not hurt.
Yeah. Whitehead slips trying to cut back inside and loses a yard.
Yeah, the one thing Oregon, they just haven't been able to get anything going on the ground or through the air. Their leading receiver, Demetrius Williams, has 3 catches tonight for 23 yards. The other starting wide receiver, Cameron Colvin, has 0 catches. And not one time has Oregon gone deep against this Oklahoma defense. Haven't had a lot of time to get them off either.
3rd down and 11 from the 19-yard line. Timeout, Oklahoma. First kick, timeout.
Time called, and it goes against the Sooners, and Bob Stoops is upset at somebody for somebody being, I think, the 12th man on the field maybe. Here's Todd.
Well, this is when the coaching really gets involved. Mike Bellotti right now extremely upset with the offensive line. You know, earlier this week, Pete Carroll of USC got a contract extension, so he's one of the coaches. And Dan, we talked about this. There could be as many as 7 vacancies in the NFL. And of course, Mike Bellotti at 10-1, his name always seems to come up. But in talking to him, he said, my goal is to win a national championship at the University of Oregon, and until I do that, I really have no interest. So Mike Bellotti right now is saying that he is staying put in Eugene, but right now he is giving it to his offense. Keith?
Pretty good quality of life living in Eugene.
And his immediate goal is to pick up a first down.
I think that it just depends on your poison, I guess. There's pressure. You know, you can work yourself to death and
quality of life
Falls just as quick as you can in Boston.
Yeah, there's no question that Bellotti enjoys being at Oregon. He's been there a long time and has had success and is really having it this year, although tonight it's just been a disaster here in the third quarter.
Well, the Sooners came out hard and fast, and even though they didn't do anything in their first possession, they set the tone with their defense, and from then on they have dominated this third quarter and scored to take a 10-point lead. 2 touchdowns. This is Dixon having all kinds of trouble. And again, they're just running over the Oregon offensive line. C.J. Ayu with that sack.
Watch Terrence Whitehead. He comes up trying to pick up Clint Ingram, and Clint Ingram just deposits him straight backwards. And then there's just too many red shirts all on their feet, all scrambling, all fighting, trying to get number 10 on the ground, and they finally do. C.J. Ayu and Ingram take him down.
And so the Ducks will punt again. Dragic in for his 6th punt of the night. He's done very well. He's had one short one of 30. He'll hit it about the 4-yard line. Low kick, got some room for the return. It's Juan Rankins. Juwan breaking to the outside. Ran right by number 91, but there's a penalty flag thrown back at the 43. Look out for the push in the back.
Could be holding on DJ Wolf. That was a terrible punt by Dragic. That didn't get but 20 yards off the ground, but it's going to come back. The good return by Rankins will come back because of the holding.
Holding on the return. Number 25, 10-yard penalty, spot of the foul, first down.
You're right, it's Wolf holding.
Yeah, he's going to check himself out on the replay board, but there he is, number 25, with a good grip on Pat Chung.
Well, he raised his hands, and that might have drawn the official's eye to him. If you're going to do it, be quiet about it. So here comes the Sooner offense now as they move back a little bit. They've still got great starting point at the 47-yard line. 1 minute and 39 seconds to go in the third quarter, and it's been a nightmare for Oregon. Sooners with 2 touchdowns, a 10-point lead. Peterson checks in the backfield, and he gets the ball. Goes to the left side, nothing over there. Comes back this way, not much here, but he'll take it. He gained 3. Paul Pennegar leads Fresno State against the Tulsa Golden Hurricane in a meeting of 2 teams that average over 30 points a ball game. The AutoZone Liberty Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Week on ESPN, Saturday at 1 Eastern. Fresno State Tulsa will also be seen in sparkling high definition on ESPN HD.
And Oregon will tell you just how good Fresno State is. That they feel that that's the second best team to SC that they played all year.
Southern California would vote that way too, probably. In fact, they all said it was the toughest team they played. Hard to imagine. And then suddenly they remembered Notre Dame. Malcolm Kelly makes that catch and goes out of bounds, but he's got 11 yards on the play, and it's a first down.
You got to give Kevin Wilson, the new offensive coordinator, a lot of credit for being very balanced, especially in the second half. They threw the ball well in the first half. They're running it well in the second half. But being balanced doesn't mean running the same amount of times as you throw it. It just means doing what we want to do when we want to do it. And that's exactly what Wilson's getting now.
Ball on the 42. Keon Jones And Kewan goes about 3.
And right now, the Sooners have run the ball 26 times and thrown it 24. That's doing what you want to do when you want to do it. And give Kevin Wilson a lot of credit. He's experienced in both types of offenses, the power I and the shotgun. The spread offense, and Bomar likes the spread offense. It's what he ran in high school down in Texas.
Adrian Peterson's back on the field. Gets the ball, stops, turns, goes right up the middle, and just short of a first down as Trucks makes the stop. Third quarter is done. We got 15 minutes to go, and Oklahoma bouncing back to lead by 10, 17-7 after 3. And I was really struck at what they've done in this city. It's beautiful. And there's still some work to do, I guess, what they have in their plans down the way, but that's a look at it from the Coronado Island. But it's really pretty.
Yeah.
Got the train running right through town. I love it.
And a trolley with mass transit from downtown right out here to Qualcomm in Mission Valley. Yeah, I used to lease this town, Keith.
They don't have anybody running into the trains down here, but we got them running into the buses up in Los Angeles. I don't know. All right, here we go. It's third down and one. And the ball is on the 33-yard line, and they go back to Adrian Peterson, who's come back in the ball game, and he slashes to the 30 and has the first down.
Time for our Pacific Life game track. Adrian Peterson now has 9 carries for 54 yards here in the second half and a bloody forehead. J.D. Runnels caught this 17-yard pass from Rhett Bomar, put it up 10-7 for the Sooners. And then Kewan Jones from 8 yards out, 17-7. Oklahoma in the third quarter outgained Oregon 169 to -9.
Wow.
That is a wow.
Jones is in there. Peterson out for a little more rest, and Bomar keeps the ball, rolls out, throws on the run, pass complete to Kelly. Kelly is brought down by Fennessy, but it's going to be very close to another first down.
Now,
it is a first down.
I don't know if Bob Stoops is a faith healer or not. We've got a Haloti Natas down on the field for Oregon. Like he got his knee rolled up on, but Bomar with a bad right hand continues to throw strikes. They really feel that Malcolm Kelly's going to be a star for the Sooners at 6'4", 204, just a freshman. Good speed, good hands.
Nata is the core of the defense for Oregon. Now you see him working on Adrian Peterson.
Would like to thank NBC Channel 739 for all of their promotional support of
that could be a knee injury there for Haloti.
Hyperextension, didn't it?
He battled ankle injury all year long.
Well. Well, I think everybody anticipates, though he is not confirmed, but he's almost said that he's going to professional football because he wants to help his family. He's quite a fellow. He's fun to sit down and visit with him. He's an interesting young man. Big, interesting young man. Adrian Peterson is back in there. He's got the ball coming this way. He runs over one tackler and goes out of bounds at about the 3. Maybe they're finally going to put him at the 5.
He just has too much speed to get around the corner and then too much power when he confronts a tackler. Look at the speed to get around the corner here. Now he's going to lower his shoulder, run over a defensive back, Fennessy, then try to stretch and get in the corner of the end zone.
Davin Joseph was the man that helped him turn the corner, though. He kept the road open for him. And it's 1st and goal, Oklahoma at the Oregon 5. Peterson's in there as the deep back gets the ball and goes to the 2 before Devin Long brings him down.
Now, people forget because he had that ankle injury for most of the year. But Adrian Peterson finished 2nd in the Heisman voting 2 Heisman votings ago when he lost out to Matt Leinart. But you can certainly put him in the favorite category for next season, especially the way he finished the season and the way he's playing in this second half tonight.
Well, Bob Stoops told me yesterday that he was not entirely healed yet from that ankle. It was apparently a severe sprain.
Well, according to Stoops, nobody's hurt.
That was during the quiet of lunch. Ball is handed to Peterson again, and he goes hammering into the middle.
He lost the ball.
Fumbled the ball, and Oregon's claiming they've got it.
He was stretching for the end zone, and Trucks came away with it.
I don't think the officials have agreed with that verdict yet.
Well, Trucks ripped the ball out of his hands as he was trying to break the plane with the ball.
The ruling on the field, the runner was knocked down on bodies of players, fumbled the ball, 1st down.
He definitely was not down. He was on top of the stack, and as he reached the ball for the goal line, Dan's right, Trucks took it away from him.
That's the third fumble recovery for Trucks. This is a gift from Adrian Peterson. Too far away from the goal line to stretch out and try to break the plane. Stoops claiming he was down. Officials saw it differently.
He was rolled up on top of people.
What a big break for the Ducks. Could have been a real killer right there.
He's called timeout. Bob has.
Timeout. Oklahoma. 2nd team timeout.
In college football, you know, you don't have a red flag to throw and risk a timeout. You're at the mercy of the officials. While you're watching the replay of what we just saw with Peterson at the goal line, Holly Rowe was listening, and she says,
well, William Lamagna, the referee, just had a lengthy conversation with Bob Stoops and says, look, Bob, he was on top of bodies while he was stretching the ball out. So even though it looks like he was down, his knee never hit the playing surface or the field. He was laying on top of people. He had a lengthy conversation with Stoops. Stoops seemed satisfied with it, walked away, and just shook his head.
And it's Oregon's ball, 1st down at the 1-yard line. Dixon is under center. Dvorak looking right at the center. Pitch it back to Dixon. He throws it deep. And there are 2 Sooners covering the man going deep, Demetrius Williams. And the pass is incomplete. Holy cow.
You know, Dixon almost stepped out of the end
zone. Yes, he did.
He was about a foot and a half from stepping on the back line for a safety. We talk about pulling out of the hat here. Look at how close he is. And he takes a big hit from C.J. Ayu. Ayu, who has 2 sacks on the night already, as Dixon unloads it as far as he possibly can.
On 2nd and 10, Dixon in the end zone, throwing it out to Terrence Whitehead, who gets to the 5-yard line. The Oklahoma defense has just absolutely destroyed the Oregon offensive line here in the second half of play.
And you know that makes Bob Stoops happy, being a former defensive coordinator. Led by Dvorak, 94. Ayu's having a great night, number 99. And the push in the middle there by Aodell just forces Dixon to put that one up for grabs.
3rd down, call it 6. They gave him 4 on the pass play from the 1 to the 5. He goes back to the spread. Throws in the middle, and it is incomplete. The ball was thrown very, very hard, and Demetrius Williams had to go right through his hands. I mean, it was really hummed. Here's Todd.
Well, Keith, the problem you and Dan both know, it starts with that offensive line, and during that last possession, Steve Greatwood, the Oregon offensive line coach, said, fellas, you are worrying about the linebackers too much and not getting the guy in front of you. That, plus, we've got to have some kind of protection on the edges. We cannot get to the next level unless you guys take care of business up front.
That's pretty basic. Goes back to that old homily, the fancy halfbacks need the big uglies up front to do it. That's a pretty good kick. It runs the receiver all the way back to the 44-yard line. Jawan Rankins is still searching for running room and finding a little bit as he wiggles his way down the field. That's a heck of a return. He got it down inside the 35-yard line. That's a 50-yard punt and a 21-yard return by Jawan Rankins. Capital One Bowl Week, 2 great games on ESPN. South Carolina and Missouri in the Independence Bowl. Then you've got at 7:30 Eastern, 2 of the top 10 ranked teams of the country banging heads. That'll be Miami, LSU in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. And in the middle, you've got the College Game Day Bowl special presented by Outback Steakhouse.
Huge defensive series for Oregon. They got kind of lucky the last time when they ripped the ball away from Peterson on the 1-yard line. Great field position one more time for the Sooners.
Nata's not in there now, remember. He has not returned to the ball game since leaving with an injured knee.
And his replacement, David Fa'atete, with the play that time, number 90.
David Fa'atete.
Well, he's not a bargain either. He's a 300-pounder. Here's Todd.
Well, Haloti Ngata is on the sideline. They were putting him through a series of drills, working the knee. It does not look like it's a major injury, but it's just catching on him. So they've got it on a big bag of ice because that's what you need for Haloti Ngata. He is now on the bench with a leg propped up. Ice does not look like he's coming back anytime soon.
11 minutes roughly to play in the ball game. And this play will go just about the line of scrimmage for Adrian Peterson. He's at a not up to his norm because the Oregon defenders for a long time were really rough, but they have not held up through the second half. Patrick Chung wobbling around.
Now this defense is getting worn out by the Sooners and by the field position. In the second half, they've had 5 possessions with an average start of their own 44-yard line. They're just playing on half a field this entire second half.
Bomar dropping back, trying to set up something for Peterson, but he couldn't get the screen set up as Oregon's defense knocked down the ring of blockers, and he threw it in the ground.
Yeah, it was a good play by Devin Long to get in the middle of that. He felt the lineman leaving. And there's Patrick Chung. He's probably not going to be able to continue. He's in all kinds of pain right now. But a good 3 and out, perhaps, for the Duck defense. Don't be surprised if the Sooners don't try a fake here, though.
Chung is out, and Demetrius Spates has come into the ball game, replacing him. Now here's Cody Freeby in for the ball game, and the punt for how many times? This will be 5 on the night. Longest 52, shortest 32.
And the key for Oklahoma is their personal protector, is their fullback, J.D. Runnels, right there. And he has run from punt formation this season.
Caught a touchdown pass tonight.
That's that delay of game. We'll see if Oregon accepts it.
Still 4th down.
Well, they want to give him a little room, but sometimes you're better off to be able to go ahead and swing your leg. Get into that pooch punt business, and sometimes it blows up on you. Justin Fennessy is the man waiting for Oregon. And I don't know if they might take another 5-yarder. Nope. Snap it. He tries to kick it very high and does. Now let's see what happens to the bounce. Well, it's caught by Tennessee down at what, about the 9-10 yard line. So they don't have much in the way of field position again. Downtown San Diego, the skating rink for the holidays, that's Horton Plaza. And it's had a lot of action. And the Sooner Schooner. Those little guys, the one on the left hasn't done much pulling tonight. It's quite a long trip for them. This is Jonathan Stewart carrying the ball for Oregon, and from the 9-yard line, he'll get it out to about the 15 for a 6-yard pickup.
You see Oregon's trying to change the tempo right now, going without a huddle and trying to get some fresh legs in there. Jonathan Stewart is the 230-pound freshman with great power and speed.
Tim Day, the tight end.
The number 85, Tim Day.
That's short of the first down.
Touchdown by number 1, Reggie Smith.
Third down and about a yard.
It's a gain of 3. Third down and 1 from the 18.
Day's a big guy, 6'4", 260. Takes up a lot of space. Here's Dixon throwing the ball to the sidelines. Too high. And DJ Wolf was all over Demetrius Williams. If it had been a perfect pass, I'm not sure that he could have caught it, because Wolf was in his shirt.
And it's another 3 plays and out for the Oregon offense, as the field position has been very bad here in the fourth quarter. They started their last drive on the 1, this one on the 9, and still unable to pick up a first down.
Well, and what? That'll make it 5 possessions now. They've done very little. Been 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Holiday Bowl record in attendance tonight, too. Here's the punt away by Dragic. That's a good one. It's a tight spin on it. Goes back to Rankins. Rankins from the 37-yard line will get back to about the 40 and stop there. 2001 Holiday Bowl game. Oregon quarterback Joey Harrington had one of those nights you remember forever. He caught a touchdown, ran for a touchdown, threw a touchdown as they held on and beat the Texas Longhorns. Longhorns dropped 2 touchdown passes in the final possession, though, to help, and the Ducks won it 35-30. Joey, those were good times for Joey. This particular past season hasn't been a whole lot of fun for him.
Had a great career at the University of Oregon. Last time the Ducks were 11-1, trying to get to 11-1 tonight.
Out the middle on the play, the ball is handed to Peterson, who's been in and out much of the second half, and when he's been in, he's been a holy terror. He is the one, as much as anybody, who has triggered what has happened as Texas has ran off 14 points, 2 touchdowns in the third quarter to take a 17-7 lead.
Yeah, he's really led by example tonight in the second half with some of the most creative runs you'll ever see, just refusing to go down, refusing the hole, trying to find something. They just picked up his entire Sooner offense.
Bomar's pass thrown to the sidelines, and the pass is caught by Malcolm Kelly. Malcolm Kelly's had a big night, too, for Oklahoma. This is the way Oklahoma finished the season, though, boy. I tell you, they played some tough football the last 6 games, and I'm still not sure about what that Texas Tech game that wasn't the phantom touchdown. Because the longer you look at it, the more you doubt it.
You know what, Keith? I think we might just take another look at it, too.
Otherwise, they'd want to run off for 6 in a row to finish the season, which would have put them at 8-3.
Well, they had a disappointing postseason last year when they lost to SC in the title game, but they look like they want to be contenders next year off of tonight's performance.
Deep. Incomplete, intended for Kelly. Covering on the play was Aaron Gibson, and again Gibson was running the pattern.
Well, Keith, you asked for it. Here it is. Did he or didn't he? Torian Henderson of Texas Tech was awarded this touchdown on the last play of the game against Oklahoma. Tech players calling for the touchdown signal, and they get it. And The whole town of Lubbock goes crazy. Sooner fans don't want to see this bad call again, but here it is in slow-mo. Henderson's down, stretches the ball over as the Red Raiders get the call and the win. That was OU's only loss in their last 6 games.
You never know what'll happen until you try. Timeout, Oklahoma. More on Adrian Peterson's plight tonight with Holly.
Well, guys, last year Adrian Peterson was at the Heisman Trophy presentation, and I had the honor of interviewing him. But I knew that this was a special young man. While we were waiting in the commercial break, he said, "Boy, you seem really nervous." I said, "I am. It's the Heisman Trophy presentation." He said, "Well, ma'am, just do what I do before a big game. Take a deep breath." I couldn't believe this 18-year-old was calming me down. That told me that he was something special as far as his maturity goes, and he continues to show it here in his sophomore season. Dan?
Let's take a look at that Heisman Trophy ceremony from 2 Heisman seasons ago. Quite a list here. Alex Smith, high school teammate of this man, Reggie Bush, here in San Diego. The eventual winner, Matt Leinart. There's Adrian Peterson right there, and his quarterback, Jason White. 3 Heisman Trophy winners in that picture. Here were the final results as Peterson finishes second to Leinart. And he'll be looking to make a return trip to New York next season.
A fellow named Quinn sitting in South Bend. Going to be a big contender.
Yeah, and a fellow down in Austin, Vince Young, who says he's coming back to the Longhorns, may also be a factor.
Lindale White hasn't made up his mind yet. But if they all stay, then they'll may go. Little play action for Bomar's pass to the sidelines, underthrown, and he took a pretty good rap from Darius Sanders, who's been in his shadow all night.
You know, Keith, you and I have seen a lot of football games. I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback, and this is the 3rd time we've seen the Sooners this year, ever seen a quarterback get hit as hard as Rhett Bomar does. He's just totally oblivious to the pressure. Does whatever it takes to get the ball off, and he gets hit by the tackler, and then he gets hit and bounces on the ground.
Let's see what happens after Josh Heupel has him for a year. He might not look like the same guy because one of these days he's going to get hurt if he keeps taking big blows like that. A play like that, for example, he took another lick from Anthony Trucks. And Trucks is not the biggest guy on the field, but when he hits you, he hits you with ferocity.
And that's his 12th sack on the year. That leads Oregon. And it's number 84 coming from the inside there. And he pounds Bomar down on his right shoulder. That's one beat-up quarterback, but a quarterback with a 10-point lead.
And only 7.5 minutes left to go. They need something exciting to happen on special teams. Right about here. And it's Justin Fennessy who's well back there. He's expecting a big one out of Freebie. And it's not. It's a shank coming straight toward the sidelines and eventually going out of bounds. No Oregon player had a chance to get their hands on it. And the Ducks will get the football at about the 22-23 yard line. There are Fifth Avenues and there are Fifth Avenues. This is the heart of the Gaslamp Quarter here in downtown San Diego as the revitalization continues.
Brady Leaf at quarterback for the Ducks.
Brady Leaf is in there at quarterback. And it's an empty backfield for him. So Dixon's unable to do anything. They'll try Leaf. He throws a bad pass. James Finley intended, and we'll spend a minute with
Sports Center after the game, Keith.
Thank you. Leaf throws again. This time the ball is caught by Finley, but he only gained minimal yardage out of it, 4 at the most.
This is where Oregon has really struggled tonight. They're 0 for 8 on their last 3rd down tries.
Somebody's got to run past the marker to get and provide a target for the quarterback to get the first down, and they're not doing it. This man doesn't have the mobility of Dixon. May have a better arm and more accurate arm. Sure shooting. Here they are. Jailhouse, and it is caught. They got past the marker, and he hit him. It's Finley coming up with a catch, and he moves the ball to the 39-yard line. Even with all that pressure coming, Leaf was able to deliver it and get the first.
Well, he had a good look at it. He saw it coming just as we did and stayed cool and delivered the best pass of the night.
Sidearms it to the sidelines. And that's incomplete. Here's Todd.
Well, Keith had a chance to talk with Kellen Clemens just a moment ago. He told me this is the most emotionally draining week of his life, not being able to play in his final game as a senior, and he said how much he wanted to play this Oklahoma team. I asked him what Dan was bringing up earlier, why Oregon hasn't gone longer, and he said quite simply, we cannot protect long enough to get that route off. He says we've got to find some way to get slants, crosses, anything to open this thing up, but right now they cannot go long because there's just not enough time. Keith?
Yeah, and they got to play Oklahoma again next September in Eugene. Low snap picked up by Leaf, throws, dropped. It was in the hands of Finley, and as he turned upfield expecting to be hit, he dropped the ball.
Just trying to do too much, trying to run with the ball before you catch the ball. But again, it's a bad snap from Anoka Lucas. That throws the timing off. That forces Leaf's eyes down to where the ball is. So that's why the ball thrown a little bit behind Finley, but still should have been caught. He had his hands backwards.
So they're looking at 3rd and long again, 3rd and 10. 17-7, the Sooners lead. Ball is thrown into the Sooner bench, incomplete. He had to loop it up over the attackers and threw it too high and too far. Now it's 4th down and 10.
Now that was Larry Burdine giving the pressure there for the Sooners from his defensive end spot. Good for Oklahoma to see him back in the lineup. Had a bad injury to his left elbow.
Here's your ball game right here.
Could be.
4th and 10. The ball is on their own 39-yard line. They don't get it. Sooners might stick it in the end zone, at least get 3. Goes the other way. Whitehead. He's going to get it. He's going to get a lot more. They finally knock him out of bounds at the 39-yard line of Oklahoma. Darian Williams saved the touchdown.
Now maybe that's what Oregon should have been doing all night, is going for it on 4th down. They're 2 out of 3 there. One was a fake punt by Matt Dragic. This is really well designed. Whitehead is number 24. It's a sprint out to the right, throwback screen all the way across the field, and he's got a pretty good convoy out in front. Lucas with the block right there, and then Whitehead getting out of bounds after picking up a huge first down for Oregon.
21 yards on 4th and 10 to keep their hopes alive. 5:45 to play in a ball game. Leaf turns and wanted to go deep. Nobody there. A lot of green grass, so he takes off and spins down to the 30, and he's right on that marker.
Well, he's close enough to where they ought to take a look at it to see if it is a first down. Appears to be about 6 inches short, though. But you notice that time he went for the first down, didn't go down, didn't turn down the contact.
So the crowd of 65,416, which is a Holiday Bowl record, beginning to wake up a little bit as the action has been revived by the Oregon Ducks in this surge. Leaf's pass is completed to Finley. And Finley is thrown down at about the 23-yard line, 22-yard line, and that's a first down.
But Holiday Bowl observers and people who have come to this game for 28 years now know that this game itself has a great history of fantastic finishes. Are we going to have another one tonight?
by Williams. Tough catch by Demetrius.
Yeah, I almost looked at the way that play was first executed, that Williams might have been looking to pitch the ball back to Jonathan Stewart on the hook and ladder. You know what the key to that is, don't you?
No.
A good hook.
What goes into it? Back goes Leaf, throws. He's got a man. He's got another first down.
Yeah, he's close.
He's pretty close. Finley has suddenly become the prime target. He tried to turn his body so he could fall downfield, and the defender wouldn't let him.
Yeah, they're used to having success. You don't win 10 games with not knowing how to finish games. Oregon has all 3 of their timeouts remaining, but they got to quit wasting time. They got to stick it in the end zone soon.
It's 3rd down and 1. Thrown out to Finley. He may not get that first down. He's going to lose. That was not a good decision. Reggie Smith came up and dropped him for a loss. That was a slow developing play. It was an obvious play, and it backfired.
And they're going to have to force Oregon now is going to have to use that first time out. Great reaction, though, by Reggie Smith. You talk about the receivers, the young receivers for Stoops' team. A lot of freshmen. Well, Reggie Smith is a freshman starting at safety for Oklahoma, making a big play there.
Why wouldn't you go with a slant there? Why wouldn't you go with a slant, something bang bang like that?
Yeah, they've thrown that bubble screen right there, but it was the speed and recognition by Smith that got in there before the other wide receivers could come up and block him.
Paul Finnegar and Fresno State will be going against the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. That's a couple of teams that average a lot of points themselves, over 30 a game. That's the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Week, ESPN Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. They're looking at 4th down now.
A lot of choices for Oregon with this spread offense. On the last 4th down play, they threw the ball to Whitehead. When you have a condensed field here, such as they are right now with the ball in the red zone, a running back out of the backfield is a very dangerous weapon, as is a big tight end. But Tim Day has 0 touchdown catches this year after catching 12 in his previous 3 years with the Ducks.
The ball is right on the 16-yard hash mark. It is 4th down and a short 4. More like 3 actually, because the marker is just beyond.
Well, they're going to go for a field goal,
13.
Keith.
But now the kicking team comes trotting on the field.
Not a bad decision. This would, if it's good, would cut the lead.
It's not going to be a field goal. They got a man going to the corner of the end zone, and that gets a penalty flag.
Well, they tried all kinds of trick plays. What a brilliant call by Bellotti, because Leaf is the holder. Split Day out to the wide side, and if he wasn't interfered with, he might have caught this ball. But you know, the ball looked like it was sailed out of bounds. This might be
ruled
ruled
going out of bounds. Yeah.
Be uncatchable.
Eric Bassey was the defender for
Pass
Oklahoma.
interference, 13 on the defense. Spot foul, automatic, first down.
I tell you what, that's a bad call. This ball landed 5 yards out of bounds. This was uncatchable. Look at Bassey hustle out there to find Day, but watch where this ball lands. Not even in the chalk, which is a good 3 yards wide. Oh, Oregon got away with one there. Heads up play by Bassey, though, to prevent the touchdown. But that ball was uncatchable.
It is 1st and goal on the 3 for the Oregon Ducks. They're down by 10 points, 3:34 to play in the game. Low snap, Leaf gets it. Lost a high one into the end zone. It is touchdown, Tim Day, who hadn't caught a TD pass all year, and suddenly the big guy is involved in 2 big plays, and one of them was the touchdown.
Yeah, got it over Darian Williams. Williams goes 5'10", Day goes 6'4". 2 big plays by Tim Day back-to-back as Oregon is going to make this a finish.
To pull within 3. Paul Martinez. Leaf holds it. The kick is good, but the whistle before the ball, or just as the ball was being snapped.
False start, 85 offense.
Wow.
5-yard penalty.
Tim Day makes 2 great plays and now makes a mistake. You take the point off the board and back them up 5.
And you know, Martinez has struggled with extra points all year long. He started the year just miserably in his inability to make the extra point. Just squeezes that one in.
Whoa, just barely. 17-14. Wow.
You know, Keith, Brady Leaf had his choice of receivers on this play. Watch number 6, Demetrius Williams. As we freeze it right there, there's Finley right there. As we run this a little bit, you'll see both of them are wide open, and the only guy that's covered in the end zone by 2 guys is Tim Day, and who gets the touchdown? Going up high, picking up his first touchdown of the season. Happy holiday, Tim Day. But you know, you even look at Cameron Colvin, number 80, he was breaking open in the end zone with nobody around him.
Yeah, fate is a fickle thing, isn't it? 17-14 now with 3.5 minutes to play. Onside kick here, or do you kick it away?
You kick it away because you have 2 timeouts. Now Oklahoma's lining up in the wrong end of the field. The receiving team went to the west end of the field, and now they get it straightened out. Now Oregon should kick this one off. They've got some momentum. They've got to be able to stop Adrian Peterson and Stoops' offense.
Well, Matt Evanson has a big leg. He's capable of kicking the ball out of town. So if he can keep them from having any kind of return here, it'll mean a lot. Or if he can get it very high in the air, would give the cover team a chance to come down and make the play. Well, here it is. He's going to kick it on the ground. Bouncing around, and it's gravy bounce, and the Sooners handle it up around the 33-yard line, and that's where they will possess it. J.D. Runnels was the man that caught the ball, and here's Todd.
Well, new life in the Oregon sidelines. You can imagine, I just talked to the referee and I asked him, was that ball ruled uncatchable because he was interfered with it? He said exactly. They felt that he could have caught that ball had he not been bumped right there. Now, Dan, he would have been pretty tall, and I don't know how high Tim Day can jump, but you bring up a good point. He said, though, that if he would not have been interfered with, he would have made the catch.
Yeah, Superman wouldn't have made that catch.
Had the opportunity, maybe. Whatever. It's now Oregon's big problem to stop Oklahoma's offense. And a guy named Peterson just tucked it away and got 2 yards when it looked like he would lose 2.
Yeah, but he went out of bounds and stopped the clock. That's more important right now than anything. This thing right there, that 3:23.
Second down and 8 coming up for the Sooners. Kewan Jones is down in the backfield with Bomar. 2 wideouts to the top. Maybe changing his play here. Better hurry.
That's the illegal motion right there.
Kewan Jones cuts back inside. I don't see any laundry.
Well, there should be, because Bomar was moving, as was Kewan Jones when the ball was snapped.
Second team timeout.
Oregon calls the timeout to stop the clock. And no call on what you were talking about. 3:15 to play in the ball game. Now you can see the clock up there in the right-hand corner.
Well, watch Bomar moving around now. Jones is going to move. The ball is snapped, and they're both still in motion. Good run by Kewan Jones.
They'll be looking at 3rd down and 4 when action resumes after this timeout at 3:15 to go. A 3-point ball game, 17-14. Sports Center will be along when we conclude our ruckus out here in San Diego. It was a yawner for a while there with Oklahoma sitting on a 10-point lead and Oregon's offense ineffective. But then all of a sudden, the worm turned.
And Bob Stoops' brother, Mike Stoops, the head coach at Arizona, knows Brady Leaf well because Leaf had to come off the bench after Kellen Clemens was injured and Dennis Dixon was injured and lead the Ducks to a narrow win.
Now the Sooners spread them out, sideline to sideline. On 3rd and 4, Bomar's pass is incomplete, intended for Kelly, defended by Fennessy. Now it is 4th and 4, and obviously the Sooners will punt.
Now Fennessy has 4 interceptions of his own this year. He's a senior. Did a great job of not making contact or wrapping that left arm around the body of Kelly and got his right hand in when the ball came. This is where he's most dangerous, though. He's one of the top returners in the country, and he loves the middle return. Took one back 69 yards against Mike Stoops' Arizona team this year.
Sooners were a man short, waiting for the punting team to get organized, and now they're ready with Freebie. Last time was a shank, 30 yards. Ducks coming hard. Kick is away. It's a low one, and it's on the field of play, and it's rolling around inside the 25 and dead at the 23. So there, the Oregon Ducks will get the ball with 3 minutes and 4 seconds to play in the ball game, and they trail by.
First down and 10 for the Oregon Ducks from their own 22-yard line.
So Brady Leaf is in the catbird seat as far as posture, and that ball is pitched to Whitehead. He broke the hold of a couple of Oklahoma defenders and got out of trouble. Holy cow, how did he catch it? And secondly, how did he get away?
Well, he did his Adrian Peterson imitation is what he did. He got right in the hole and just backed up, kept his legs going. Here it is, Keith. 2 Sooners collide, and Whitehead comes out free.
Well, he's not a gimme. He's 244 pounds. He's a big guy. Bad pass. Whoa, almost picked off.
Well, Ingram almost picked that one off and should have. The ball was thrown low. If it's not thrown low, not only does Ingram pick it off, he scores.
Right.
This would have been his 5th pick of the year, trying to hit Tim Day.
There was nobody between him and the goal line. I mean, it was clean on that side of the field.
Yeah, he scored on one against Tulsa this year.
Where's Demetrius Williams? Come to this side to Whitehead. Whitehead gets loose. He's got a first down. He's across midfield. He's still going. He's finally brought down at the 35-yard line by Eric Bassey.
And Whitehead did exactly the same thing against Fresno State earlier this year when they needed it. Same type of play, a screen pass to Whitehead. Came into the game with 46 catches behind a lot of good blocking and determination. Watch him cut back against the grain here. Picking up blockers, heading down the field vertically, and setting his team up in real close to field goal position.
Jeremiah Johnson comes into the ball game. He is the tailback. You got to get Whitehead out and let him get his breath after that play. I don't know where Stewart is. Maybe they're afraid that Stewart, who's had some fumble troubles.
Well, Johnson is a better receiver, Keith, than Stewart. Johnson runs the same type of plays as Whitehead does. That's why he's in the game right now.
On first down, they go to Johnson. He's not that big, and they handle him. He's an even 200 pounds at 5'9", and Dvorak takes him down after he picks up about a yard.
You know Dvorak's going to be playing hard in his last game as a Sooner. He missed the game last year when the Sooners played the Ducks. That was the first game of when he was kicked off the team. He's very excited to end his career with the Sooners against the Ducks, and he makes a huge play here on first down.
Second down and 9. Leafs pass down the middle is incomplete. And Finley is yelling for interference on Williams, but gets no call. They got tangled up. The ball was thrown sharply. If he breaks away from Williams, he scores.
Watch the right hand of Williams just punch that ball out. Great timing. We just saw Justin Finney with a play just like that when the Sooners had the ball. Big play there that time by the sophomore Darren Williams.
34-yard line. It's third down and 9. A minute and a half to go. All kinds of movement along the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Palani Masoon jumped off sides.
5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Concentration, concentration, concentration.
Well, basically that penalty takes them out of any chance of kicking a field goal on fourth down if this play is incomplete pass. That's how big that false start was. But Oregon, you know, will go for it on fourth down. Looking to just get half of it here on this third down and 14.
Leafs got to throw the ball. Now throws it to Jeremiah Johnson, and Johnson gets loose and gets a first down. Holy cow.
Yes, he does have to throw the ball, and he finally got around to it. And he found a freshman. You don't talk about his scrambling ability, but you talk about the fact he doesn't get rattled. Look at Latimer right in his face, keeping his wits about himself, putting the ball right on Johnson. Johnson gets out of bounds, and the Ducks are still alive.
1:17 to play. Leaf runs it up into the middle.
But you know, the bad snap just took that whole play and threw it in the trash can. Just been a problem all night for Anoka Lucas with Dusty Dvorak on his nose. The ball has come back low and just throws the timing off, especially on an option play, as that one appeared to be.
Whitehead's back. Leafs pass intercepted by Clint Ingram. And that's your door slammer.
There's a flag down on the field, but that's for excessive celebration. And why not, Clint? Your 5th pick of the year. That just saved the game, because that was going to be a touchdown to Demetrius Williams if the ball's thrown 2 inches higher. Great job by Ingram stretching out and picking that one off.
Following the interception, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 44. That'll be half the distance to the goal. First down, Oklahoma.
Clint Ingram, one of the 4 senior captains. Great play.
You can see Williams was behind him, but the ball is thrown too flat by Leaf. What an athletic play, and I'm not so sure that this action right here is unsportsmanlike. I think that's just a kid having fun and winning a game for his coach and his team.
So the Oklahoma Sooners with the ball and only 33 ticks remaining on the clock, and Oregon with what, 1 timeout remaining?
Yep.
School's out. This baby's over. 17-14. I guess, like Yogi said, it ain't over till it's over, so let's wait till the clock runs out.
A heck of an effort by Brady Leaf, leading the Ducks down. They were within field goal range there. Field goal would have tied it, but the Sooners going crazy.
Our Capital One player of the game, well, you just saw it, number 44, Clint Ingram. 5th interception of the season. This one seems to have saved the game for the Sooners to give them their 8th win on a season, and started out with a great deal of difficulty for them. They played 12 freshmen along the way, and they all grew together. And here's the play.
Williams was behind Ingram. Ingram with great speed, recognition, athletic ability, and finished the play.
Take a knee and roll the clock. 31 seconds. Penalty flag.
And that stops the clock.
That stops the clock.
Rhett Bomar slams the ball down. That's going to be another one of those unsportsmanlike penalties.
Number 7, half the distance to the goal, 3rd down.
Now you move him back half the distance. Now a knee becomes a little bit more of a problem.
Yes, it does.
Boy, I wouldn't want to get anywhere near that man right now. Just excited, that's all. He slammed that ball down because he thought the game was over and that the Sooners had won.
It's 3rd down.
He might be forced to take a safety here, and that wouldn't be all that bad a deal because they're only, well, clock has started again, and now a delay of game penalty is being called.
Offense, charge to number 7.
Not sure why the game clock started there.
3rd down.
They wound the clock and they rolled the clock once the mark-off on the penalty had been made. I'm not sure that after that kind of a penalty that the clock stays stopped, does it?
I think so.
Now taking a knee is a different critter, but that'll do it. And the game is finally over, and the Oklahoma Sooners have won the ball game by a score of 17-14. Well, it got pretty exciting in that final minutes of the 4th quarter, but Oklahoma won the ball game in the 3rd quarter when they scored 2 touchdowns. And then Clint Ingram's interception made it stand up, and your final is a win for the Sooners. Here's Holly.
Coach Stoops, what happened there at the end?
Well, we made some foolish plays, and we go and get a personal foul and stop the clock. You know, just need to play smarter, but we did what we need to do and won.
Told you at halftime the team behind comes back to win. Your offense finally got rolling. What worked with the running game?
I'm glad you reminded me of that. But as I said coming out at halftime, we wanted to get them moving early, get them running, hopefully tire them down, and then hit them in the second half of the running game. It worked for a good part of it. I liked in the first half. We were close to making some more plays. We didn't feel we were just strong enough initially just to pound them early. We wanted to try and work them later in the game, and it worked for us.
All right, congratulations, Coach. Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it.
Final score, Oklahoma 17, Oregon 14, and another great Pacific Life Holiday Bowl game. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Sports Center is next. We'll move over to ESPN News for a post-game extra. Goodbye from San Diego, California.
Thursday bowling, Oregon and Oklahoma in the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl. Ducks best be done quacking about not being in a BCS game. First quarter, Sooners up 3-0. Third and goal for Oregon. Demetrius Williams in the slot. He's going the other way, and he's got reservations for 6. Look at the big fella out there with the block. Oregon led 7-3 at half, but the team trailing at the half of this bowl has won 7 of the last 8 games. Third quarter, still 7-3. Rhett Bomar. J.D. Reynolds. 10-7, Bob Stoops Club. During the celebration, Adrian Peterson cut his forehead open on a teammate's helmet. He needed stitches, but he came into the game and he did some things in the second half. He had 9 carries, 3 yards in the first half. Went for 78 yards in the second half. First down there, and if some Peterson is good, more is better. He's playing like a man possessed. First down, and that led to a Kewan Jones touchdown, 17-7 Oklahoma. Fourth quarter, Oregon's got 3:38 left. Field goal, no. Mike Bellotti reaching into the bag of tricks, and they get a pass interference call there, and that leads to a first and goal. And Brady Lee, yes, that's Ryan's brother, and you can insert your San Diego joke there, but no joking. We got a ball game to Tim Day, 17-14. Oregon gets the ball back. We were smelling overtime. Terrence Whitehead.
We wanted it too, man. We love overtime.
Yeah, really on a third down in a 3-point game, and Whitehead inside the 35-yard line on a 37-yard game. Same drive. Insert your Leaf San Diego line there. Clint Ingram catches it. 17-14 Oklahoma. Bob Stoops celebrate in San Diego.